Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Heavily Altered Podcast, episode 7, right?
Yep, 7.
Why'd you do it like that? No one's gonna see the way Daniel did the 7. But basically, he had the 5 out,
did that, so
and
you
then he
didn't have
did it
to
like
feel,
a gun.
So
he
you
did, like,
didn't
the
have to
2
feel
as a
like
gun.
you didn't know the episode number, okay?
No,
I held up my
I have no
numbers.
issue. I have no issue that you did the 7 sign. The way you did the 7 sign, like he did it, like where like he was using a finger gun
I
as
had
the 2
one
fingers
hand that
for
was
the
a finger
7.
gun, and the other hand, because I was counting it out in my head. I was going,
Yeah, you're using your thumb and your index finger. For the folks at home listening, try doing that.
I rarely do that. I don't know why.
Hey, you know why he
it.
does it though? You know why he does it though? Because his brain actually connects to these 2 fingers first.
Sure.
My brain sent the signal to my thumb before it reached my.
Anyway, my name is Little Boy.
Little
Luke.
Boy, and my name is Bigger Ladle Boy. No, my name's Daniel.
No.
Naimur, also known as OG Chocolate Milky Milks Shakes.
No. Naimur's known as
That's his
as,
username. That's his throwaway username on Reddit.
Shh. They'll know. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. I'll have
Naimur's
to.
known as
bleep
Naimur's
that out.
known as the Geek of Tech 12.
Oh, that's an old name. We don't
I
use
might
in a
have to
long
cut that
time.
one out.
No,
I have to cut
I
that one out?
deleted
'Cause
the
you still
account
have-
a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was still in use. Like, if that account was still in use, I didn't want
It's
to.
an old alias. That was when we used aliases on the internet. Now we just say our names. Like,
Yeah.
I was which it's also kind of ironic. Geek of Tech, like that's not. I mean, I guess because like
kind
geek
of
is a broader
redundant.
term. Well,
It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah, that's
redundant.
why. Well, see, I
Yeah.
thought Geek of Tech would be a pretty good name, and then it was
Mhm.
taken. So then I did Geek of Tech 12 because I was actually
He tried
actually
1
8
through
years
11,
old.
and it didn't work. He just
I
kept
was actually
counting
8
up
years
until-
old. So 12 was the common answer. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, 12
But,
seemed like the right answer.
Yeah, it was a very cringy channel. I mean, I remember. You know what my most viewed video on that one was? It was like insane the amount of views it got. It got 1,000 views. I was so confused as to why that got 1,000 views. Do you know what it was? It was a
No.
Logitech. It was a Logitech wireless mouse unboxing, like a $20 wire. Or no, not even wireless. It was a wired Logitech mouse unboxing,
Maybe
and
that's what we need to do to.
it was
drive
probably my
views to
worst
this
video on
channel.
the entire channel that I did.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like I was like unboxing it. I was like, oh wait, I don't have a knife. And then like cut. And it's like, okay, found the knife. And then like my dad starts talking to me out of nowhere. I'm like, huh? And then I cut again. You know what I mean? It's like such poorly made, and it had like the most views. I was like, what? It was but it was really weird because like I wasn't like checking it in real time. I uploaded it right because I was going to Bangladesh for like a month during summer. So like right before I left, I did that video, and then I went to Bangladesh. You know, and the internet back then was pretty shoddy, so I couldn't really check it consistently. And it's not like it mattered. I was just an amateur YouTuber. My channel meant nothing at all in terms of revenue or anything. And then I came back and I looked at like the video view counts. I was like, what? Why does this have like 1,000 views? I'm so confused. Like what? It made no sense to me.
You know-
and then
My
I deleted the
most
channel.
viewed video
an embarrassment.
on
Oh yeah,
my
Luke
most
had
viewed video on YouTube was Avengers movie review, and I got 12 views. Got 12
Now
views.
I have to
12
look up my
entire
most.
views.
Now I have
See,
to
that was
look
the
up my
true
most.
origin between Geek Attack 12 because he got 12 views. I chose to get 12 for the name. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird that we don't use aliases anymore to go on the internet, right? Like, I think the only prominent alias now, probably just because it's he's been in the light, is like Corpse Bride or whatever. Corpse Bride's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because he's genuinely anonymous, but like a lot of people aren't really doing anonymity. I think it's after Facebook really came out, and people are just willingly putting their
After
names in front of
Facebook?
things. Yeah, because in
I don't know,
Facebook you
that
have to
seems-
put your first and last name, whereas
When
on
did Facebook
YouTube
come
back
out?
then,
Yeah, what
Huh?
about it?
When did
Well, Facebook-
Facebook come out? No,
someone
years
never
ago?
watched The Social Network, so they clearly don't remember.
I watched
I
the
don't
Social
remember either.
Network. I didn't remember the date in it. Oh, you don't remember either, huh? Interesting.
Well, no, it's a little gray area because Facebook was it was originally meant for Harvard, and then it went to different universities. Like you had to have a university EDU, like a specific university EDU, and then like they were like kind of rolling it out, like slightly per colleges, and then I think they did all colleges, and I think in 2007 or 2006 or 7 they made it available where anybody could join. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I just looked it up. It went public in 2012.
No,
Or
that's
that's
the
what
IPO.
that's what Google
That's
said.
the stock
Yeah, the
IPO.
IPO. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's the stock. Idiot.
Yeah.
I've actually
I
invested
should have.
my entire life savings
I
into
realized that
Facebook.
when it said IPO, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
When
but
could
that's
any?
fine.
You should just look up when could anybody get on Facebook. Isn't it kind of weird that Facebook was
Alright.
also like this like college hub? You know, it was just like college kids
Yeah.
interacting, and now it's just meant for old people, right? Old people, and like your old teachers that you used to have. That's literally it.
September 26th, 2006. Anyone in the world could make themselves a Facebook account.
2006.
Yeah, exactly. See, so it's like, when that happened, and YouTube was actually made in like 2005, I think. But
I was
YouTube
gonna
gets
say,
to
but
be
there are a lot of people who created YouTube accounts after that have remained anonymous to this day.
like what?
So,
Like DK Tech 12 to the
How
no
to
one knows who he
Basic?
is.
How to Basic. There's a ton of Minecraft YouTubers who don't, just video game YouTubers in general, who don't put their face out there. Those are the two main ones. There's Swagger Souls. He's another gamer.
I don't know who that is. No offense.
But yeah,
But yeah,
George.
George, my brother.
Georgetown. Like the city.
Yeah, Mr.
Luke's
Georgetown.
thinking 5 minutes back when we were talking about colleges, and he was trying to name one college. He
Yeah.
couldn't think of one single college.
He's
Even the one I
currently
go to.
his system OS is on Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox version, so it's lagging.
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
running it's running the PS4 version on the Xbox actually. So
so it would run better.
No, it's running the PC version on the PS4 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you. Yeah,
how it is now, basically.
Barely.
yeah.
I know we
Son.
can't talk about Cyberpunk. We're gonna get into a wormhole. Okay. So how have you
We're
guys
gonna
been?
get
It's
into
been
a
like a couple
wormhole.
days.
Pretty okay. Today I got shot.
That's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I hope of the coronavirus,
No, I just got shot with a bullet.
Oh,
but the bullet had the coronavirus vaccine in it, right? It was a unorthodox
No,
way
it
of
was
transmitting.
no,
the
it
virus.
was made out of blood.
unorthodox
It was-
vaccination.
it was-
Pow, 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 pow. Just go around shooting everyone.
Now I know why the anti-vaxxers are so against it.
Because they don't want to get shot with bullets. With
Yeah.
COVID.
I was gonna watch a movie today, and then I just couldn't find one I wanted to watch. I just wasn't in the mood for any movie, so I'm a little sad.
I
'cause
finished.
I wanted to watch.
I
a good
finished the
movie.
second season of The Mandalorian. That was
Solid.
good.
I was about to do that. I was like,
Really
okay, then
good.
maybe I should just watch The Mandalorian, and then I thought I should edit the podcast. So that's what I
Yeah,
did.
doing his job.
Oh, you're so
Proud of
lame.
him.
You're so
And
lame.
we're not paying him, so good.
Yeah, and,
literally
and me
can't
and
enforce
Naimur,
him
No
to
money
me and Naimur
yet.
don't do anything.
Yet.
Yeah, I'm like the creative
You guys
director,
record.
which means I basically do little to nothing, and Daniel's
I'm
one
the
that does most of
talent.
the work.
I'm
yeah,
the talent.
Luke's the talent, and Daniel's like the blue collar worker.
I am the hard work, blue collar worker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm
I
in
actually got
The nitty gritty.
I got Tenet on Blu-ray because I saw it was on Blu-ray already, and then the price dropped like
Mhm.
$10. Dude, you can get Blu-rays for super cheap on Amazon. Like that's not a great example. $20 is pretty
No, you can't.
standard.
You can't.
Yeah, no, like 1917 and stuff like that. Like they're like $6 on
No.
Amazon. Like
No.
Blu-ray.
No.
Luke, you know the movie didn't actually come out in 1917. It came out last year. Right?
No, don't be fooling with me. Why would it
Yeah.
say 1917 if it didn't come out in 1917? Huh?
Yeah, but
Yeah, he's really got you there. He got you with that one.
he bamboozled me, as they say in the industry. He bamboozled me. But I got Tenet. I'm excited. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for my brother to be like, I don't know. Me and him have like opposite sleep schedules because of his work and stuff. So like we never really have time.
So
to see anything.
you mean he has a regular sleep schedule?
No, he has a way worse sleep schedule than I do. He's sleeping right
Oh.
now. He's been sleeping
Okay.
for the last 6 hours. For reference, this is 11 p.m. at night. So, yeah. So I think we'll watch it at some point. Maybe he'll wake up at like 2 a.m. and I'll be up, so we'll watch it together or something. But I'm excited.
Let us know how it is.
Yeah. Maybe we could watch it together one day once coronavirus ends.
Nah.
Is Daniel frozen? Or is he
Anything-
seen as a joke?
Anything with that racist Christopher Nolan, I just can't watch it.
He's racist?
Yeah, he's racist because he called a balloon white one time.
That's tough. Something tells me that you just made that up, but I don't know.
Well, do you think he didn't call a balloon white?
I don't know. Maybe if the balloon was white, maybe I would have no problem with that. But Who knows?
Think
I
he's
gotta
never?
know.
Do you think he's never said, "Hey, look at that white balloon," or "Do you want the white balloon or the black balloon?" to his kids in his entire life.
I know, right? Dude, I think Daniel's like not on the call right now. Something. I think he's frozen.
I'll just server mute him.
Oh, wait, no, he says, "Hey, I think my Wi-Fi went out, but keep recording, but don't talk about topics." Darn.
Where did he send
All
that?
right. Well,
Oh,
yeah. So we're gonna have to vamp for a couple minutes, Luke. I guess.
Oh, he did leave. Okay, he's not server muted anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know what to make of that movie. It's gotten okay reviews. Like, or not okay, but like average, above average.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like I said, Christopher Nolan's a racist.
He's not a racist, but that we know of.
Do you know?
Maybe he's just racist under his breath. No one could ever know. Right. So.
I mean, yeah, we can't know.
No, we
Discord isn't working for me. I'm stuck on checking for updates, is what Daniel says.
Maybe his internet has not fully connected in yet.
I'm gonna say just continue with the conversation just in GarageBand.
I mean, it would still connect through GarageBand, would it not?
Yeah.
Because GarageBand's with no Wi-Fi, so. But yeah, I keep saying, but yeah, I need to fix that. It's a weird thing. Do you have anything like
But
that
yeah.
when you talk in public? Like you're public speaking.
Not
You're
really.
like, yeah. So, yeah, and yeah, and
Probably.
yeah, like.
I'm
you
sure
know,
I do.
like
I
that.
don't really publicly speak enough to know my habits when public speaking.
Well, I actually am I am director of CDC, Dan Fauci. I don't even think that's his role, or my role.
Anthony.
And so I have to speak in public a lot. Anthony Fauci,
Mhm.
yes.
Wow, Dr. Fauci,
Antonio
I'm really glad to be meeting you today. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions, if that's okay.
No.
If we had a bathtub just filled with viruses, what would it look like?
So wear your masks and the social distance and wear the gloves and sanitize.
No,
Thank
I think
you.
I think you're thinking of Bernie Sanders here.
They both have like a. Is Bernie from Vermont or no? Because I feel like he's from New Jersey. He has like he has like a borough accent, and you
that
server
Jordan?
muted Daniel.
Oh,
I
I
server muted him.
super muted him. Daniel's not super muted anymore.
All right, Daniel,
What the
speak.
heck?
All
That
right,
is
so
so
Daniel,
infuriating. I don't know what just happened.
No, it was really weird because you were frozen. And I was just like, is Daniel
Yeah,
just
you
doing
guys
that
were
to mess
frozen
with
for
us?
me. No, you two were frozen for me. And then I was like,
Yeah, so me and
So
Luke
I
had a
had to
good conversation
disconnect from
going.
Bernie Sanders, yeah, born in
Oh.
Brooklyn. Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, we were talking about,
What about
we transitioned. I'm Dr. Anthony Fauci,
Anthony Fauci?
and I was talking in
So
a.
just
Dr. Anthony
accent.
Fauci is also born in Brooklyn. They're both born in Brooklyn.
just real quick, if I wasn't talking there for a few minutes, I dropped from the call because I had a Discord issue. So
Yeah,
we're
we know.
back.
No,
So you're gonna have to
read the
edit
text
your
you sent
part out.
us.
Yeah, you're gonna have to edit your part out when you're like, "Hello, guys. Hello, hello." We're just not saying anything.
Yes, I
I
will.
mean, so much for no editing, so we might as well go all in now.
No, Luke. The people who are listening to episode 6 are like, no. Yeah,
Episode
so we were
6,
talking about
we know.
Tenet while you were still here, Daniel. So I'm excited to see it at some point on Blu-ray.
on.
I actually like
heard it's
collecting a lot of physical media. I don't know about y'all.
No, you don't.
I hate.
I like
no,
doing
I
it
hate
with books,
collecting video
despite the
games.
fact that I think it's easier sometimes to read on a device because it's just more portable.
Yeah, I get that, but
Like, I have
I'm
my
talking
phone with
about.
me wherever I am.
I'm talking about primarily like movies and film, as the cinephiles talk about. But
All
Yeah,
right, so
like-
that's getting cut from the podcast. No, I'm just...
I forgot Daniel's a projecting racist. So
No,
Yeah,
I
but-
just the word cinephile just.
it's the name of the word.
Namer,
I know,
but-
I want Namer after you watch Tenet, I want you to tell me whether it's a film or if it's a movie. Okay.
That is the big distinction in
I love
cinema. Yeah.
Cinephilia.
I love the subreddit. I don't even know if we're allowed to say the name of it.
You could say it.
Do you know what
who
I'm talking
cares?
about?
Yeah,
I love the r slash.
circle
I think it's movie circle jerk. It's so funny.
Yes.
It's just everything. They'll make fun of movies. They'll have pictures of other movies and then they'll label it as like Tenet 2020, and it's like not a scene from Tenet. It's just stuff like that.
usually it's like Danny
great.
DeVito from Sunny, or Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I love it.
And
See if I can find something.
yeah, it's just I hate collecting video games, physical media, because there's no point anymore. Because if anything, it's more inconvenient to have to put the game in the disc tray, or I guess disc loader, because it doesn't even use
Yeah,
it
but if
anymore.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, the only purpose after you've installed the game using the disc, you know what the purpose is?
To identify what game you have. Yeah,
It's also to identify that you own the game.
that's what I mean.
So-
Yeah.
So there's no use. There literally is no use.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well just download the game digitally at that point. But I
I
will
mean, again,
like,
I've said this to you before, but why download it digitally? Why have all your games digitally when your account could just get wiped by accident or something?
because Daddy Microsoft will save me from that. They won't do that.
Do you really think so? Do you really think so?
I don't know. I mean, technically you don't own the games
Wait.
then, because it's the same thing with like licensing. Like when you buy a song off of iTunes, you don't actually own the song. You just own the license, and so you're not actually owning the song. But I mean, it's whatever, right? It's you're just trusting that Microsoft will not go under eventually, so that they're not liable to give you your games. So
Do you buy records?
yeah, I do buy some vinyls. It's
Do
funny
you
enough,
have a
Daniel.
record player?
Yeah,
Hmm?
I don't have it set up,
Okay,
but
just making sure.
I have. A
I
few
use
records.
it sometimes. Yeah, I do
don't
too.
use it that often. I kind of wish
have
I
a-
did, but it's
I
like
have
I don't know.
I have a record of
inconvenient.
the things that I've done in the past. It's called my brain because
It's called your
Mm.
permanent record.
and
No.
it's
His
it's
criminal
littered
record?
with
Criminal
it's littered
record,
with
yeah.
just black marks. It's just completely redacted.
Well, it's redacted because you're
It's
in the
redacted.
CIA.
Yeah.
You're in the CIA,
They're not
so they
allowed-
have to redact
no one's allowed
everything.
to see
Everybody
what I
knows
can
if you're
do.
in the CIA, your crimes don't count.
Yeah, exactly. You're just okay to
License-
do whatever. It's like GTA for you.
You know, I have the license to kill, the license to commit arson, the license to do anything.
Exactly.
The third
So
one is
funny.
the license that they added after they're like, oh, there's gonna be too many of these. Let's just
The license
and then the
to
license
license.
to do everything.
The license to license. Exactly.
Oh man.
That's it. Oh, my brother Rory, he got his
Mhm.
PhD,
In
doctor.
PhD in doctor. Just the study of doctors.
Yeah. So now people come to
No,
him when they're like,
no,
oh, I
not
don't-
study doctor,
No, so
study
now people,
doctor. Singular.
now people come to him when they're like, oh, why don't I have my PhD yet? And he has the right to give out PhDs.
Got
It's like
it.
in Game of Thrones, you know, the scholars or whatever in the library.
The maesters.
The maesters,
Maesters.
yeah. Grandmeister, whatever. I don't know. Grandmeister.
That was bad. That was
'Cause
bad.
they just know everything. That's so weird. Like
Mhm.
that's the internet for them. Like they just study those books all day, every day,
Mhm.
no matter what. Daniel doesn't know because he didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naimur,
I
that's
said
what it was
mhm,
like.
as if I'm
That's
like
what
if
it
I'm
was like back
actively
then.
in this conversation. Like, yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Well, you
But
know
I
the
have no
maesters, the grand maesters had, or not the archmaesters, had specialties. They had
Hmm.
different they had different.
What would your
metal-
special? Okay, if you had to memorize one chunk of like history or knowledge, what would your
Hold on.
specialty be?
Let me tell you all the specialties.
No, but like, what would
No.
yours like? Just
I'm
ignore
just
Game
saying.
of Thrones.
No,
for
I
a
don't
sec.
want. I don't want the actual one.
Oh, okay,
I'm
fair
just
enough.
saying like with
It's
modern
gotta
day
be,
equivalences of like.
in my opinion, or for me, or for
I know what Luke
for
says.
you, for me, it'd be
Mm-hmm.
crike.
Crike. Nice.
Wow.
That's not a word though.
Wow, that's very fascinating, Luke. Thank you.
He's
Mine would
trying
probably
to do too
be
much at once. He's trying to do too much at once. He is searching something up and thinking, and that's just too much work.
yeah.
No, it'd
Mine
have
would
to,
probably-
it'd probably be history.
I
History?
knew yours was gonna be something history over there.
Mine would probably have to
Yeah.
be Avatar: The Last Airbender hentai. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Luke,
That'd be
Luke, don't
second.
say anything that could be taken out. Namer, Avatar:
not
The Last
that
Airbender
offensive.
hentai.
That's not that
It's
Yeah, but
offensive.
Luke.
it's
It's
still probably
art.
gonna
It's
be taken
art.
It's art, Luke.
It's film.
It's truth, Luke.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
Do you have a serious answer, Namer?
Yes, I have a serious. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I would
I know what I would do.
probably just computer logic, just knowing everything to do with coding, just everything
Mm-hmm.
that I just don't have to like look it up, because I mean that's what most programmers do anyway, right? But
Right.
just learning that would make learning to code so much easier if you just knew the concepts already. Well, I assume
Mhm.
you're studying them, so it would just be very useful for that. But who knows? Maybe one day just
Mhm.
computers will get knocked off like that. Just knowing
Right.
how things work.
I would.
So that'd be pretty cool.
I was thinking, when I asked that question, I kind of knew what I was gonna say. It would be something science related, despite the fact that I'm going into a math field. I much
Yeah, I'm
rather
curious-
prefer
I'm
memorizing
curious to
science
that.
related
Why-
stuff.
Why are you going into math when you prefer science?
I don't prefer science. I enjoy, so here's the thing. I enjoy learning about science,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoy teaching math way more.
Ah,
So for me,
because people
if
are
I'm
bad at
having to
math
collect
and
knowledge,
and you really
I would much rather it be science related, because I would be, and then I could pull it off where I'm able to teach people like things about biology and chemistry or evolution and astronomy if I need to. But like my primary goal is just to absorb knowledge, right? As at least by the boundaries of the question
So
that I've
just
established.
Daniel, just curious. What animals did Sorry.
Luke
What
went full
animals?
gorilla.
what-
I was like, what is he doing? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
what animal?
What animal did sharks evolve directly from? Out of
Directly
curiosity.
from?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
God.
Um,
End of story.
alligators.
No.
Okay,
God.
fair enough.
Okay.
No, I know. I'm
We're
joking.
done.
Luke, are you asking
No.
me like a serious question, or are you giving me a prompt for improv?
No, it's God.
I
Okay.
can't tell.
I'm
Depends.
tired of you going
Depends.
against Christianic morals. We're done with this.
Namer,
Okay.
you're brown.
Thank you.
That was
Racist Luke.
unnecessary, Luke.
Racist Master Luke. No, I know what Luke would be a grandmaster in. He'd be a grandmaster in racism.
It's thought that's so funny. It's thought that that sharks descended from a small leaf-shaped fish that had no eyes.
no. I
fins,
didn't
or
say.
bones.
I didn't say sharks. I said a stingray.
Dude, I don't actually want to know what a shark
You
evolved
did not
from.
say stingray.
Also, I don't know why my
Hey.
favorite fish was a shark, or my favorite animal. Like, what was your favorite animal in elementary school? Like,
The
I don't want
mallard
to hear
duck.
dog. That stuff is stupid. Just say
The
like
mallard.
the
duck.
mallard
You're joking,
duck.
right, Luke?
Yes,
You have to be joking.
that's just
Like,
the animal I did.
that's
I did a
so-
man
project
read the
for
ugly
when I was in, like,
duckling and
fourth
thought it
grade.
related to him.
Oh, okay.
But Namer, the whole point of the ugly duckling was that he wasn't actually a duck.
Oh, really? You see, I
Yeah, it was
spark
a
noted that
swan.
one in kindergarten, so I don't
See
remember.
okay, can we talk about this? I hate that story because it's like it's not what's on the outside that counts. It's what's on the outside later in life that counts. Because he like
No,
turns
it's not
into
what's
a
on the.
beautiful
No,
swan.
it's not what's on the inside that counts. There's not what's on the outside that counts. It's the color of your feathers that counts. Wink, wink.
Exactly.
Nudge, nudge.
Later on in life, because he grows. Luke's
No,
trying
it's
to
That
make
about
a
swan
racism.
grew up
It's not a race
I was
thing.
That
making-
swan grew up to be Martin Luther King
Hmm?
Jr.
That's not funny. You can't joke about him. Namer, today's
can't
a sacred
joke about-
day. You know that. Today's a sacred day.
Today's the sacred day.
Yeah.
It's not even the
International
Sabbath,
Popcorn
bro.
Day. No, I'm just
No, it's National 18th Day.
National 18th Day, and it only happens in December, even though there's many 18ths of months. So,
Yep.
do you think February will ever have 30 days? Ever? Like in 1,000 years?
No, because that's not how astrology works. Or astronomy.
Would
works.
anything, like, what would warrant it to become 30 days? Well, I
mean,
guess
the orbit of
29.
the
What
Earth
to
around
become
the
30
sun.
days?
The orbit of the Earth around the sun would have to shift.
what are we talking
Okay.
about?
To make February 30 days instead of 29.
Or they could just take
28.
away days from other months, or they could take away
Yeah,
days from other
exactly.
months. But yeah,
Yeah, isn't the Mayan way of, or Mayan form of calendar just wrong, theoretically?
yeah. It
Like,
is.
isn't the lunar calendar
know
much
that-
more accurate?
Hmm?
The lunar calendar, isn't it much more accurate?
Are you saying our current calendar is based on the Mayan calendar? 'Cause
No,
I don't
It
think
is.
that's true. It is
it's
not.
not. Our current
months
calendar
are
was
not.
developed by Julius
Okay,
Caesar.
my bad. Yeah, my bad. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. The Gregorian calendar. So yeah, because isn't the lunar calendar much more accurate? That's what I heard. I could be wrong.
I mean, it's from what frame of reference? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Days,
we're kind of
because-
culturally adapted to the current system. So saying that one system is better than the other, I mean, right now I don't.
And also our calendar is based on the solstices.
But there's a clear flaw in our calendar because every 4 years you have to add a day to a month. So
That's a flaw of any calendar.
Well, that's
You know
yeah,
what,
that's
but
not a
I
flaw.
think there's
Same
a
thing
little
happens-
of it.
It's just no, Naimur. That's
That's-
not a flaw. That's just the fact that the Earth makes a rotation around the sun every 365 and 1/4 days.
Yeah. So you have to
Oh.
adjust for that no matter what.
Wow.
This seems like
That's actually
basic
interesting.
6th grade science that Namer just
Yeah.
wasn't listening in
Yeah,
class.
I definitely that was my
Because-
weakest point. Of
Yeah,
sixth
the
grade,
issue
for
is
sure.
we rotate 0.25 rotations as we come back to
Yeah.
the same spot. So it's like, how are you going to adjust for that? You can't like create a system that perfectly divides 365.25 into like an even number. It just wouldn't be it.
Speaking
a
of
very
days,
nice
that
system.
scene in Interstellar is pretty cool. Where it's
Haven't
like,
seen the ending. Don't spoil it.
It's not the ending. But when Matthew
Okay.
McConaughey dies,
Daniel's like,
no.
Daniel's like, Interstellar's my favorite movie, and then he's like, oh, I also haven't seen the ending. Though.
I've never said Interstellar is my favorite.
You've
movie.
seen
I've
the
said it
scene
looks like a
where-
good
You
movie.
pretty much have.
You've seen the scene where they go to a planet, and the planet's equivalent, like in terms of relativity, like
Yes.
apparently like 1 minute on Earth or 1 minute there is like equivalent to like 10 years on Earth, something like that, something ridiculous.
Luke's
No,
going
it's not 10 years
gorilla
on Earth.
again.
I think an hour there is equivalent to 20 years on Earth or something.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, it's
So they have to
like
go
something-
see it. So they have to go see it, right?
Mhm.
But the thing is, they're like super worried because like, or like they can't
They
waste
spend
any
too
time.
much time there. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
And then it's
monitoring
the scene
it
where
to
they
see
say,
it.
"Are those mountains in the distance?"
Yeah,
that scene.
and then it's a wave.
It's the tsunami.
And it's
or
a
But
whatever.
giant
that's such a
wave.
cool scene, especially the music. You know, like
It's
every
truly
tick.
the music where it's like the ticking is every second, and it's like, hey,
You know, that's
according
equivalent to a year in Earth. Like that's
Yeah.
the point of the music.
Yeah.
That's so
Mhm.
cool. It's an underrated
Yeah.
movie. So I think it's a very underrated
Mhm.
movie. A lot of people just didn't like it because Christopher Nolan just can't write good characters.
And there's that one scene that's kind of cringy
And
with
also
Anne
Christopher-
Hathaway, but that's
and
not
also
her fault.
Christopher
It's
Nolan
the
is
dialogue.
racist. Also, Christopher
Stop.
Nolan
No,
is
Luke.
racist.
Don't know about that, Luke. I don't
Luke's
think
trying to
that's
make this into a
Wait, what
title of
happened?
the podcast, and it's not
what,
working.
what happened to Anne
Luke
Hathaway?
wants every podcast title to be related to how racist he is.
What happened
And
to
we're not going to
Anne
do it. We're not
Hathaway
going to let
in
him
that
do it.
movie?
We're not going to let him infiltrate the podcast with racism.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh yeah. Speaking of
Wait, but
infiltrations,
can I infiltrate it with sexism?
no. Next question.
Nope. That one's out of the question, too. Anything that ends with ism, in fact, well, just, how about just nothing that ends in ism?
What about
Or
the
Speaking of
great
infiltration,
What
how
about
do you
the
guys
great
feel
schism?
about the Russian
No,
hacks?
Can't do that. About
Hello?
what?
The Russian hacks on the U.S. government databases or whatever.
I
Different
didn't hear
ones.
about it.
The ones that I
There's-
have left.
Which ones? The ones Luke planned or the ones he didn't plan?
Luke, I don't know if you guys know this, but Luke's actually not that smart. I know. Surprise! Who would have known just by listening to this podcast? Everyone would have thought.
Well,
was
see,
Albert
the
Einstein.
thing is,
He's smart when he wants to be.
No, he's smart when he
And
wants
he
to be.
never
It's
wants
all.
to
It's
be.
a ruse. It's a power move.
See,
power
no,
move. He wants to
listen.
be
The thing
stupid.
is,
Mm-hmm.
the one that made it to the news is the red herring.
Hmm.
I don't get
I
it. What?
see.
Not even a joke. That's not even
Do
a
you know
joke.
what a red
That's
herring
most
is,
likely.
Namer?
No,
That's
can you
most
explain it to
likely
me?
what it actually is.
Hmm?
Do you actually not know what a red herring is?
I don't know the expression.
It's
that
a
well.
distraction
It's a distraction.
from the truth. So if you're in an argument with somebody, a red herring is like, well, you said this thing 5 minutes ago, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're just saying that because you're distracting from my actually.
So it could potentially
strong
be much
argument I
worse,
just
is
made.
what you're saying, or what?
Yes,
Yes.
Luke's saying
I'm
that
saying
right
there's
now.
potentially a
what's going on is-
bigger hack or a bigger
Yeah.
breach in security.
Yeah, that's scary, man. Super scary.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear
it's
about
just-
it, so
It's just amazing
I didn't
that,
I
like,
should.
you know,
But
Russia's just like, yeah, anyway, you know,
and we
just
keep
like-
letting
Yeah.
them do it,
yeah.
and we keep
Fingers
letting them
crossed.
do it.
Fingers crossed that Joe Biden will do something about it, but I don't think
He
so.
won't. Him and Vlad are best friends. I
We're
saw the
already
documentary
Russia's
on
little
Facebook.
pet.
Oh, let me
We're
show you all
already
this.
Russia's
Hold
little
on.
pet.
This is funny. It was on TikTok. I'll just read it to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. On January 20th, Biden will be sworn in. On January 21st, he will shut down the power grid. He will stop all food shipments, stop all fuel pipelines. He will unleash the Antifa/BLM mercenaries, as well as select CIA assets, and most likely unleash bioweapons upon our land. He will occupy the military in 2 or more foreign wars, where he will send our troops and fleets into well-laid traps, decimating our military in under 2 weeks. Surrender to China will happen by the end of March 2021. Chinese occupation will begin in April 2021. 80 to 90% of Americans will be slaughtered. This includes most leftists. This is exactly what has happened in every communist takeover of a country.
Jeez,
Everyone,
man.
every single one.
Thoughts?
How out of touch
Thoughts?
with reality
What are
you
your
have to
thoughts?
be to like.
I feel like it's projection because they secretly think that a Republican government is more likely to do that than a Democratic government. I'm not saying Republicans would cause that ever. I'm just saying if it
Have you
was to
seen that-
happen, the odds are it would be in a Republican government, not a.
There's this
Democratic
guy who goes. I mean, there's lots of people that do this. Go around interviewing like people specifically in politics and asking them questions, and they're normally lay folk.
Are you talking about the Daily
lay
Show thing?
people. I don't know. No, I'm talking about something else. Well, maybe this guy goes up and he's like, "Yeah, can you imagine?" Like, the guy with the microphone is talking to this guy, saying, "Can you imagine if healthcare was free?" Like, and then he's like, they're both talking back and forth, and like, God. Yeah, employers shouldn't have to pay for people's health care. Like, that would be horrible, right? And the guy who he's interviewing is slowly, like, getting confused and, like,
Yeah.
like he's like, this sounds like a bad thing. Why does this sound like a... But he keeps just going with it because he's like, yeah, no, it is a bad thing because he's just been told that health care shouldn't be a
Yeah, there was like
But
this thing on
anyways, it's
Fox.
just
I
funny.
remember it was a meme. It was like Fox was basically like talking crap about like a senatorial candidate or something, and it was like a Democratic senatorial candidate, and it was saying like the things like their platform, like the bad things about them, and it was like Medicare for all, healthcare for everyone, housing for the poor, like just like helping the needy, like all this stuff that's like good when you just read it. But like it's framed as being bad because it's like Fox News, which I think is very,
That's
very
so
funny. It's just like
Man.
so weird.
There's also those...
Yeah.
Have you seen those, like, political ads that look like SNL skits? Where it's like, I'm Southerner, and I will take down my liberal opponent. And then they turn around and grab a bazooka and shoot a trash can. It's like over the top. It looks like it's an SNL skit because of the way it's produced. It's just like...
Hey, remember when the Republican Party was actually about protecting small government, or like encouraging small government and stuff? That was funny. And then Ronald Reagan
And
came
now
in
they're
and
supporting
freaked it all
military
up.
growth, which is strange because
Yeah.
our military is quite
Well, Ronald
large.
Reagan and Richard Nixon. I would say a lot of it was Richard Nixon. He like kind of like busted
Richard
the door down
Nixon.
for that.
Yeah, it was Republican. Yeah, you're right. I thought he was a Democrat for some reason. Yeah,
Projection.
but it was mostly
Ronald
I think it was
Nixon
mostly
and
Reagan,
Richard
though.
Reagan. Am I right?
Well,
was
I think
fun.
Reagan made the social conservatism like commonality in America. Like all
Yeah.
this stuff. I think that's how you
Also,
get
if I
Americans
might
to be
add-
Republican.
if I
for the
might
long
add-
haul.
If I might add, myself as a 19-year-old child knows more about economics than a president of the United States, Ronald Reagan.
Right.
Yeah, but you could argue he didn't
Because
come
our
up with it.
economy
His
is-
advisors did.
Our economy is
Then I know more about
is
economy than
demand
his
driven, not
advisors.
supply driven.
I don't know. Do you know more than Bill Clinton's? What do you think of voodoo economics?
Voodoo economics.
Oh, is that when they
Never heard
they
of it.
sew the little dolls and the shape of money and they poke it to make the to make the money like jump up and then
Improv
reproduces
master
itself?
Luke. Ladies and gentlemen.
Luke just alienated our witch audience.
Daniel,
Or
you might have
witchcraft
to
audience.
mute me on that one second because I said his last name. So
Oh,
Remember when Naimur was getting onto me for not saying anything that would be
Hey,
warrant
hey.
editing?
I
was
did
funny.
alter what it was.
So far, this is
Luke,
his
you are
second
doing a
time.
good
This is his
job.
second
Luke, you are
time.
doing
yeah,
a
Luke is
good
doing a good
job.
job. Luke is doing
This
a
is
good
his
job.
second time
Good
saying
job,
something that
Luke.
needs to be edited out.
What's the first one? I don't
Luke,
know.
somebody has to fill the gap.
Wait, what's the first one that needs to be cut out? I'm so
It was
confused.
something
I
you
don't remember,
said
but it was
again.
something.
Was it the
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does not need to be cut. Does that need to be
It's
cut?
questionable. I don't know.
Well, if
We're
I
not
said
cutting
it, it
out.
would have
We're
to
not
be
cutting
cut,
out the word
yes.
circle jerk. So
Yeah.
It's
But that's
on
also
the
the name of a
edge.
community. That's also the name of a Reddit community that you were talking about. That was integral
So,
to the
what I hear is,
conversation.
Luke,
Sure,
you're gonna
but
use a
I was
bypass.
texting him earlier today, Luke, and we said it not referring to a Reddit community in a different podcast.
And I said it was okay. So, I don't know. See,
And
speech
also in
moderation's
previous
so hard.
podcast, he's, huh?
Some of it makes me think that when the forefathers made the Constitution, they were just like freedom of speech. That they just said freedom of speech because they were just too lazy to monitor speech. You know, it's like but like, does this constitute a speech? Like, should we allow this? You know, so, whatever. Just let them say whatever they want. Like, I don't want to deal with
It's
this.
like
right
we'll
now.
let them interpret it how they will.
That's the only reason they made the Supreme Court.
Yeah, for real. It's like
They're like,
Daniel was
God,
the
we don't
Supreme
even know
Court
what
in
we
this.
mean by these laws. We'll let somebody else figure it out. And then they interpreted it as corporations
Bad.
should have the Bill of Rights apply to them as well. So
Well, I just don't
Sorry.
understand the originalist mindset. It's
Stop!
such a dumb mindset.
stop it! You are not a gorilla. You don't need to go boom boom. Like, what is that? You're gonna have a bruise on your chest by the end of tonight.
Who said I will?
Yeah, Namer, what were you saying? You're saying
The
something
originalist
vastly
mindset,
more
it just
important
doesn't make
than
any
Namer.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
The originalist, you know what it is, Luke. You don't have to want me to mansplain.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking.
No, what are we
I'm
talking about? I
asking.
wasn't listening, actually.
I'm glad that you're more focused on Luke belching than me speaking. You know, the
Because
actual
it's
content of the
distracting.
podcast.
Is it not distracting?
Not
Audio,
really.
I said audio listeners again. All our listeners out there, is it not distracting?
You know why? You know why I'm belching so much today, Daniel? Because I broke into your house and took all your sodas from your fridge.
That probably did
Oh,
happen.
right, and you stored them in your stomach.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
drank them all.
Yeah. All right, I've been drinking Coke now too, so I might belch as well.
Mhm.
I have not. I have not really been.
I think we should move away from politics because we get on some long political rants, and I think
I was
we
just
get
saying the
boring.
originalist view, but you know, that's okay, Daniel.
I don't
Cut me
even
off.
know what that
Here's
is.
something that happened to here's
The
something
originalist
that happened
mindset?
to me today.
What'd you
Here's
say,
something
Luke?
that happened
I
to me
feel like I
today.
could interpret it.
Okay, just to
Here's
end the
something-
discussion,
Here's
Wait,
a
Luke,
origi-
let him say the list.
just finish the discussion,
here's
then Luke
something
will
that-
speak his thing.
here's well, here's
Anyway, okay.
No.
So, no. The originalist mindset is just that a lot of it's a thing that Supreme Court justices believe, or like it's a belief held by some Supreme Court justices that they want to uphold the Constitution, meaning anything
its
explicitly
original.
stated in the Constitution they will vote for.
Mhm.
So, like
Yeah.
Amy Coney Barrett's known as an originalist, which doesn't make sense because if she was an originalist, meaning if she followed the Constitution as it was when it was made, that means she couldn't even be in the Supreme Court because she's a woman. So
yeah.
a little bit of irony there, but whatever. Okay, Luke, what'd you say?
I said I got a philosophy book and I'm excited to read it.
I will
really?
read it
Bought-
after you.
I bought
did
the
too.
Meditations. What?
I did too.
Say
It's
it again?
called. I got one too. I got a philosophy book too.
Oh,
Which one's
what's it
yours?
called?
No, which one's yours?
Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Mine is "Oh, the Places You'll Go" by Dr. Seuss.
Oh, that's my favorite one. That's one
Yeah,
of my favorites.
Very
Holy
philosophical.
crap.
very philosophical.
I've
extremely
spent
philosophical.
hours reading it.
When he-
Green
when
Eggs
he-
and
when-
Ham by Dr. Seuss as well.
Green
It's
eggs
like a
and
double.
ham.
It was a
Remember
double
when
pack.
Green
with
Eggs
the-
and
was it
Ham.
Daniel? Was it you that got PTSD from Green Eggs and Ham or something?
No, it was me. It was me.
No.
What
I
happened?
don't know if we should talk about
Oh,
that
because you
story.
can't eat pork,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it scarred me for life.
and the
Just
teachers
say
tried to
who-
force
Dude,
feed it to
it
you.
scarred me for life
they
looking
didn't.
at green eggs and ham. It was gross. I didn't want to eat that. Never did
the
I
time
think
I was
while
actually-
reading. Never did I think while reading Green Eggs and Ham. One day I want to eat green eggs and ham. No, I thought the whole point was that it looks gross. Like it's
But
not
then you
supposed
can't
to.
judge it.
At
I
the
don't know.
time, I was actually allergic to ovaries, so I couldn't eat it.
Hmm.
Not sure
Sad.
about that one. Look, that one didn't really land.
No?
That one didn't land, Luke.
He's like, no, it didn't.
it didn't
And
land.
I'm gonna sit here and
Not-
acknowledge it didn't.
It did not.
Did not land.
It's okay.
Can't
You win
confirm,
some,
did
you
not
lose
land.
some, and you lose a lot of them, and then you win only some of them. So
Yeah, you have like a
Well,
10%
at
win
least-
percentage.
At least
You
I
got a
don't.
10%
at least
win
at least
percentage.
hey, listen. At least I win more than the Dallas Cowboys. Am I right, fellas?
oh Jesus.
No, because the Cowboys have more than a 10% win percentage. So
Barely.
They have at least a
It's
30%.
joke.
Barely.
Whatever.
What
You do
about
not make
what
fun of
about
my
in all their
Cowboys.
no Namer? What
Only
about
I
in
can
all
do
their
that.
losses? What about in all their losses in the past 10 years? What's the win percentage then if we only count losses?
I think the Cowboys have only won. I think they've won 40%, 40 to 50% of their games in the last 10 years. I'm pretty sure.
Not enough, that's for sure.
Sucks because they're ass.
Yeah, obviously. You ever want to? I don't want to hear any girls talk about how they had a hard life. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for years. Okay.
We had to do a cut.
Namer, you want to go ahead?
We had to do a cut. We had to do a cut. Thank you, Luke. So,
We did
what
a
were we
cut.
talking about, Dano? Do you
We did
remember?
one.
I don't remember. I don't
Something to
remember.
do with the
what we were
Dallas
talking about.
Cowboys that nobody cared about.
Dallas
The
Cowboys
Dallas
losing
Cowboys,
quite a bit.
man. You know what the worst thing about being a Dallas Cowboys fan is? Not like
What?
even if the team sucks, it's fine, right? Like most NFL teams when they suck, like yeah, you can make fun of them because they suck. Like right now, the New York Jets suck because they haven't won a single game yet, and they only have 4 games left in the season. And so, like they, yeah,
you
like,
never
it's
know.
fine to make
Wait,
fun of
wait.
that.
They might make it to the playoffs.
No, like I think
You
like
never know.
Isn't it already too late?
no. Sometimes it depends mathematically. Like let's say in a year, just teams genuinely just do really badly. That they just like there's still a chance, but by chance it literally means like you need everything, everything possible to go. Like literally one team from a different team has to beat another team, and then like you have to win all your games, and then another team has to lose all their games for the rest of the
so
season.
yeah.
So it's like
see. Because
mathematically
it's a
very
complex
impossible.
system of how you get there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's still a chance, you know. That name
Theoretically,
always goes
theoretically, it is possible, but it's pretty much impossible.
No, not anymore, because they're 0-12. I think they were eliminated when they were
Oh.
0-9, something like that. Basically, once you start getting a losing
Luke
record,
brings
you're
up
kind of
a-
done.
I just want to point this out there. Luke brings up a really good point that I always love thinking about, where just because something's possible does not mean it's feasible.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess.
Speaking of which, you guys want to talk about something you probably haven't heard of because you don't care at all?
Go ahead.
What is it?
Well, you guys know Dream, the YouTuber.
Oh yes, I want to talk about this. I forgot to put this on the
Did you
thing.
actually? Well, I don't know if Luke.
Yes,
knows
no,
this.
I'm being
What
serious.
about-
I'm not being sarcastic.
I don't know
Dino.
this. I don't know this topic.
Okay, so
no.
I'll
Or
give you
I
a
know.
little
I know who
rundown.
Dream is. Yes, but yeah.
I'll give you a
Yeah,
little rundown of
Dino,
what
you probably
happened
know
in
the
last 2
situation better
weeks.
than I do. I saw a video game donkey video on it. Also, I want to talk about video game donkey after this too, because there was something he's doing that
Okay.
is so confusing. But okay, Dino, go ahead.
So, in the past few weeks, there was a 59-page report released by the mod team for the Minecraft speedrun community. I don't know if they run
Right.
the speedrun page or if they are different mods from all over the community, like different YouTubers mods. I don't know
That's such a
exactly who they are.
That's such a lame.
Well, somebody did.
Job to have.
Somebody
Okay.
did statisticians
Somebody-
or something. Yeah, they
Yes,
like
it's
mathed it out.
They got statisticians involved. They calculated that the run that he currently has as the 16th place world record speed run is statistically a 1 in like 73 trillion chance of actually happening, and is
Wow.
therefore evidence that he has cheated.
Of cheating.
Now, of course, Dream did not take this well, but I'll get onto that in a second. Their evidence was as follows. In the game, for people who don't know, in Minecraft, when you're speedrunning, it is important, generally, to get ender pearls. They're just an item in the game. The way you get that is you trade gold with these animals called piglins. That's the best way I can sum it up. So, there's a percentage chance of getting ender pearls from any trade. The fact, though, is, like, if you count the number of ender pearl trades he gets over, like, his 6 streams or whatever, of tons of different attempts at speedruns, you can start to get a much larger sense of the chance
Did
of
hear about
having
this.
of that. Yeah. So, they calculated that. They calculated the chance of him getting like 43 trades that are ender pearls out of 242 or whatever. Then they also added in the fact of like, okay, what about blaze rod drops? So when he's fighting blazes, people noticed, wow, he's getting a lot of blaze rods really fast. Did the math there too. What's the chance of when you kill a blaze rod, another animal, monster in the game, whatever, what is the chance that they drop an item? And it was significantly higher than any other speedrunner currently out there in Minecraft. So even the luckiest speedrunner, which is Illumina, they have these like plots, and Dream's like percentage chance is like much higher than everyone's, right? So his community's backing him up because he's going along saying, you know, Well, they say it's highly unlikely, but that doesn't mean impossible. I didn't cheat. It's just I'm extremely lucky. Like, I got lucky. And it's only a 16th place speed run. Like, it doesn't even matter that much. Like, I didn't... Why would I cheat on something like that? Right? That's his argument.
Isn't that a fallacy? That's
But
like low-key a fallacy.
It is a fallacy.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. The funny thing is, though, if you look at... First of all, 1 in 73 trillion accounts for any potential bias, any potential, like, faltering of the numbers. Because if you really look at the actual number, they started at, like, 1 in 153 trillion, and they, like, cut it in half for a number of reasons to get down to that value, just to adjust for bias. That's still ridiculous. I think somebody said that is the same % chance as you getting struck in your lifetime by lightning once and then winning the Powerball lottery in the US 1,000 times in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, that's like this
insane.
is where it comes back to. Just because it is possible does not mean it is feasible. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So in general, people are making the argument that he cheated. But there's been some pretty funny jokes about it. Namer, I just want to hear your thoughts before I go into how Dream has been pretty petty about it.
Luke, did you
It's
see my
kinda
chat
funny.
that I sent you?
No.
Look at
Yes,
the
I do see
general
it.
on the Discord.
I do see it. I don't.
You don't
We're
have
not
to
gonna
see
say
it.
that.
I just thought
I don't
it'd
get-
be a funny comedic
I
moment, but
Don't get the joke
No.
you're trying to make.
I just made an offensive joke.
Also,
in the chat.
I don't know why you want me to say it. It's almost like you're trying to get me
'Cause
to
you're-
incriminate myself.
No, you're the polarizing guy. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to get me in trouble so that you
Namer,
you have less competition.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move
So then,
on.
so that
Namer
you're
sent a
no.
joke to
Namer's
us.
just
No,
trying to
'cause
be
Luke-
the tallest.
Luke says
no,
the
listen,
hot
Namer's
takes-
just listen. Daniel, I know what it is. Namer's trying to be the tallest person in the podcast.
What?
Tallest,
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
physically tallest. He's trying to be
Yeah,
the
the
physically
physically
tallest
tall, okay.
person.
yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
to gain to Luke's height. For reference, Luke is 6 foot. We'll say 6'1" for the sake, even though he's probably 5'11".
No,
knowing
it's
him.
more like 6
No,
foot.
he's not.
It's more like 6
Yeah.
foot.
Okay, we'll say 6'1". I'm 5'7", so I
And
got
I'm
ways to
5'4" or 5". I stopped counting when I realized I was too short.
Daniel's 4'5".
go. He realized
I'm
he went
4'5".
he went to New Zealand to go
Sorry.
do The Hobbit, and he realized he was shorter than
was
The
too
Hobbit.
I was
short.
too short for their cast.
No, he went to go
did you have
visit,
any
and he
thoughts
saw.
on it?
Yeah,
Namer?
I
was
do
just curious if
actually.
you
I
had
do.
any
I'm very
thoughts.
curious.
On the Hobbit.
So one, I was right about Dream. We should cancel him. You know why? Because I was really mad that you have to pay for his $20 Patreon to get his mods that he includes in his speed runs, and you guys were
Just-
like, "Oh my
just
god!"
So people know, he does a lot of mods in some of his videos where it's like Minecraft mods that he or his friends have coded so they can do fun stuff in Minecraft. And he's put a paywall up, like just a $20 paywall, because I mean, after all, it is like it takes
Just
time
a
and effort to make
$20
those
paywall.
mods.
Minecraft in and of
And
itself.
you get $20 for every mod they've ever produced.
Daniel, I just want you to let
That
you know,
seems-
Minecraft
Yeah, to be
itself is
fair-
$20. You're
It is
spending the price of
$20.
the game.
It's $20 for all
I
the
know.
mods, though.
But like the thing is, you can get mods
Look,
for free.
and I understand that there's like
I don't have an issue with them charging. The fact that it's $20, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's a
Every
starving
single
artist.
One of them, for every single one of them.
Yes,
maybe
100%.
he's a starving artist, and you start to look at his views, and he's got millions.
Yeah, he's
on
like he has
every single-
14 million subscribers. I'm like,
No,
what?
he's
This is not starving.
He's
Are you
he's
serious?
really, really rich.
You know, he's selling things now like my 13 million subscriber coin, and he literally just came out with his 14 million subscriber coin. I'm like,
I don't
This
know
dude's
what that
milking
means.
it,
bad
bro.
for all
Do
the
people get
9-year-olds
coins?
out
Do
there
people get
buying
coins?
this.
Do people get coins for every single subscriber?
Yeah, what happens if he
Like,
goes down in subscribers then? Will he like?
Yes.
Will you get another one
I
of those
know.
coins?
I've been thinking about that. I don't
That'd
think
be
he's
so
losing
funny.
any at the moment, but
I think it's very fascinating. I just it seems kind of fishy to me. Like it doesn't seem odd, or it's like 7.5 trillion or yeah, 7.5
1 in
trillion.
73 trillion
Yeah, 1 in 73 trillion, something like that. That is
or
ridiculous.
whatever it is,
Like,
something like that.
like yeah, like you literally can't like. There's a certain point where you're like, I'm just really lucky, and it's just like reasonableness, right? So in essence, he basically, most likely, he changed like the buffer for like luck base like droppings or like distribution
Yes,
of droppings.
So he just changed the loot table.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he was more likely to get better loot, allegedly.
Although I
But-
thought he did hold the world record.
No, I don't think he did.
He did for a while, but since 1.17 has come out, here's the reason people think he cheated. Like why he cheated, not how, but if he did, but why they think he did it. Since I said 17. I think it's just 16 right now. 1.16. I don't know why. I was thinking an update ahead. The 1.16 update changed the way, like, a major part of the game. They changed the Nether, which is a dimension in the game Minecraft for people who don't play Minecraft.
Okay, you don't have to
And
dumb
it's
it
a
down that
major
much,
step
Daniel.
in beating
It's
the
taking too
game.
much time.
I'm just explaining so people understand why it's such a drastic change. So they changed the way the place looks, right? So you have to do all these things, and it's become frustrating for players because now it's just so much more luck that you need to get any type of world record. So the people that are getting world records now are not the people that are most skilled. It's the people who spend the most time playing the game, who just on hours and hours every single day, just speedrunning. Because what you need to do to get the highest world record is to just have the luckiest portal spawn near you. You need to have the luckiest nether so that you can get to a nether fortress easily. So you can do all these things. So it's just like people think Dream cheated because he stated his frustration with how much luck you need to make it through the nether in the game. He hates how spread out nether fortresses are and blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. So the idea is maybe he cheated to make it more entertaining for his fans, which I don't think it's necessarily wrong to do that. I think it's wrong to do that and not tell people you're doing that.
Yeah, for real.
That would be my
But-
opinion on that.
Okay, so Daniel was explaining that in that 16th place thing, it's a 173 trillion chance, but that's not true. It's
Yeah.
from what I saw, because I watched the video game Donkey video about this.
Mhm.
He has this thing now called Drama Mondays. Video game Donkey has this thing called Drama Mondays,
Yeah.
which I will get into after we
Mhm.
finish this topic. And basically, he was saying that it's like all of his speedruns, like the last couple of speedruns combined, like just what is the likelihood chance that all that stuff could go into place, like with all the distributions, and that was like
Right.
73 trillion, 1 in 73 trillion, which is like I understand
Yes,
if it's like
that's what
one
it is,
speed
yeah.
run, like you're extremely lucky, sure, but then like they showed it after like all of his speed runs, like all of his recent ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Well,
clearly
yeah,
like there
like I
was
said, they calculated it from like 6 different streams of a bunch of different speed runs. Or
from
whatever.
him, yeah.
Or maybe it was
So it's
6
like
speed runs
yeah.
or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like it's a little ingenuous or disingenuous. I'd say it's a little sad.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I understand like whatever he has like 14 million subscribers, sure, but like also I might be a little biased just because I don't like him from the Patreon thing. I just think that's really
Mhm.
stupid. I mean, you guys get mad at me about this. I understand, man.
I don't get
It's
mad
tw-
at you. I just think it's a little.
How many
silly
mods
to
is
get
it? How many mods is
upset
it?
about.
How many mods is it?
At
Tell me
this
that.
point,
Probably-
probably at least 50.
50 or 60.
Like they have
50.
so many things. They over the past 2-3 years, they produced so many different types of like.
Okay,
I don't know.
so let's say you only spent $20 once, like just the $20 per
Mhm.
month thing once, right? Like you cancel after the next month. That means you can't get any of the new mods, right?
Yeah, you can't get any of the new ones. So you have everything that they have so far. I believe.
So you're basically spending more
Again,
than
I haven't
20
paid for it.
if you want to have the current set of mods. More than 20. So you're because just statistically, if you were to
Sure,
do it.
if you want to keep up to date, or you could just wait a year and get another 20, 30 mods, whatever. I don't know.
So then you're spending like if you just keep doing this yearly basis.
You know,
It
Naimur,
adds
here's the
up.
thing. Patreon is there not as a system to charge people for gifts and things. Patreon.
No, I know.
is
It's
supposed
like
to
a
be-
gift on the top of that, but I don't get why it's the highest one. You know what I mean? Like I think if someone paid $5 a month, they should be getting that more than the 20. Like
Maybe they
I
should get
understand
some
that.
mods. Like they should get some of the most popular ones.
yeah, sure,
Or
fine,
some
whatever.
of the
But like I just
less popular.
Sure. These are
I-
things that are
we could
free,
get into
like,
the
I don't
specifics.
understand.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
it's a really nitpicky thing. Like I understand, like, but like I would have much more faith, or like I'd be more understanding if he was like 100,000 subscriber YouTuber, maybe even a 500,000
Mhm.
subscriber YouTuber. Like I would have more leeway with that. But no, he's literally like
Yeah.
he's gaining subscribers to the rate of like Jake Paul or PewDiePie. Like this is not, it's not the same thing. Like I just
Yeah.
don't get it.
Right.
Seems like
maybe
he's just milking
cheating
everything.
subscribers too. Maybe he's cheating subscribers too.
Maybe it's possible. You know what's crazy? It's that like PewDiePie is like, you know when they do channel purging, like they destroy inactive accounts on YouTube, like
Yeah.
every so
Mhm.
often. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like PewDiePie, like he just like loses 500,000 just because they're inactive accounts. Like that's crazy. 500,000.
Yeah,
that's
that's
like a
insane.
really good YouTube channel.
Is he losing so
Mm-hmm.
much every time? Like, is he still gaining in followers, or is he just
Yeah,
dropping?
it literally. What is 500,000 to him? That's like maybe 0.1% of his following,
Yeah.
0.2%. Something
Okay,
like
I
that.
guess that's fair.
It's not.
I just
that
didn't know
much.
if he's still gaining though faster than that, because He might still be
Yeah,
at,
absolutely
like, I
he
don't know,
is.
whatever. But
Absolutely. Whoever came up with that meme, subscribe to
It's crazy.
PewDiePie instead of T Series, man, that was great.
Genius.
That was great for
Yeah.
him, man. It was genius.
Mhm.
But like, subscribers doesn't even do anything for him. He needs views. That's the thing.
yeah.
But I mean, he gets them, so it doesn't really matter at that rate.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, back to Dream. It's kind of, I don't know, because I don't really watch Minecraft speedruns. Also, I think Minecraft speedruns, I just don't get it, because when you make a new world, again, it's based on luck. Like, it's not a defined seed. You know what I mean? Seed meaning it's like a generation, it's a number code that basically decides what the world's going to look like, right?
Right.
And they randomize it if you don't put in a specific seed. So, like, I just don't understand the point of speedrunning, because it's literally, like, you can't measure it. So I don't get why there's, like, a leaderboard for it. Because just
Well, you can
by
measure. You
definition,
can measure it time-wise, and it's partially based on luck. And
but
the
it's
idea
not,
is
it's not equal.
the
is what I'm
idea
saying.
is if it's a random world, it'll eliminate anyone so that it's just skill-based, right?
I think
the
speedrunning
idea.
is skill based is the issue. You know what I mean?
I know, but there are different types of speedrunning though. It's just right now the most popular kind is random seed. There's
I know,
also like non-random seed, which a lot of people do, or you could have like there's also speed runs for like fastest time to get into the Nether, or there's speed runs for like defeating every boss like fight in the game. So I get what you're
Yeah.
saying, but I just think it's popularized because it's just an
Okay, so it's a
interesting-
specific kind. So I understand
Yeah.
that too. That's cool, whatever. But I don't think it should be taken seriously. Then it should be like a parlor trick type thing. Like, oh, you know, like there shouldn't be like any
Sure.
like skill to it, or like it shouldn't be in the world record book, something like that. Like whereas like just looking at speedruns of different games, like I saw Last of Us Part 2 playthrough on grounded mode, meaning or not grounded, grounded permadeath mode. It's the highest difficulty. If you die in the game, you die. Like the,
And you have
the
to go
game's
all
over.
the way back to the beginning if you want.
And the game's like 25 hours long, so that is really impressive. Well, on normal playthrough.
He's at hour 24 and he just dies.
Yeah, but I think he did it in
That
like
would
10 hours or
suck.
something. He did it in like 10 hours. It's so
Oh, I
impressive.
see. Yeah, because he's going so fast. Yeah.
And like he literally
Um,
he doesn't even kill anybody. He just like slides past everybody. He's just like, "Oh yeah, I know the window. Just hide, then go through." You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to say though, as a counter argument to you, is even if you get the luckiest seed in the world, if you don't have the skill that some of these players have, you can't compete because
I'm
the
not saying they
speed
don't
at
have
which
skill.
they do things, it's like so that's why I wouldn't say you. I wouldn't go so far as to say, well, it just shouldn't count as a world record. Like we should. It's not that.
Yeah, well,
official.
Daniel,
it's like I don't know.
theoretically, there is a chance that you spawn beside a ruined portal that only has one block missing, and everything else is pure obsidian, and right next to it is a lava lake with a waterfall falling into it. So there's some
Yes, Luke, there is a chance to do
you're
that.
floating beside it.
And
So you can
the
get it right away,
chance
you can
to
get it
do
to the
that is
nether.
extremely unlikely.
And theoretically,
Luke's not drunk, by the way.
Okay, we're
as soon
just
as you-
gonna.
Luke
As
is,
soon
Luke
as
is
you
not
spawn
drunk.
into
By
Most
the way.
people
nether,
won't understand
there
what
could
he's even saying.
theoretically-
He's saying
Yeah, I understand.
theoretically you could have the luckiest seed in the world, and yes, but we're gonna
Yeah.
ignore that.
Luke's not drunk, by the way. It's a bit he does called Slur Words Luke.
No, it's
SWL.
called I'm trying to get my charge.
No, wait, that sounds so bad. Slur
SWL?
words, Luke. Slur
Uh,
words. You know what's fascinating?
Mhm.
This a lot of people have been doing analysis of like, did Dream cheat or not? And this guy who's a game theorist, not the game theorist, is quoted, and he's just done film documentaries and stuff like that on tons of people. The guy who beat Donkey Kong, the guy who beat Pac-Man, etc.
Oh, the King of Kong dude?
etc. etc. He said that in his experience, the professional players are more likely to cheat because one, they
Doping.
have a better knowledge of the game, so they know how to cheat. Two, they have. I did the two again. I did the two the awkward way again. Two, they have so much pressure on them. So when it comes to like, and because they have so much skill, they get frustrated with the luck-based things, right? So then there's the pressure to find a way around that, where it's like, I can just show off my skill, right? I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Quite interesting.
Was that it? Okay. Well, I think
that's it.
I think he probably.
All done.
I think he probably did it. Like he probably cheated. Like
Yeah.
the whole why would I do it if I'm the 16th fastest record? Like that's a fallacy. Clearly, like that's what people
Yeah.
purposely do, so that to lead people off from saying they don't cheat. I'll say I don't care. It's whatever. It doesn't really hurt anybody. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't
it's
know.
not like
I'm inclined to believe the 59-page statistical analysis report.
yeah, exactly.
The thing is,
That
it's
too.
not like it's like Louis Armstrong. Like he's not being paid by the
You mean Lance Armstrong?
speedrunning commission or whatever. Yeah, Lance Armstrong.
He said Louis Armstrong,
like
the
he's-
jazz
Louis
musician.
Armstrong? Did you say Louis Armstrong?
Yeah, you know the jazz musician who did the Tour de France.
Oh my god. Yeah, Luke. Continue.
It's not like
he's not
it's
being
not like
paid.
he's being paid by the streaming commission or whatever, or by the speedrun commission or anything.
Well, he's not getting any
Like,
money.
he's just
I think.
he's not getting he's not getting any money for specifically the speedruns.
Yeah, I just think
So
it's
I don't
kind of
really
sad
think-
because 9-year-olds
It's-
look up to him. You know,
Yeah.
like 9 to 12-year-olds. It's like kind of sad.
I mean,
but-
honestly, it's okay to cheat if you get away with it.
no,
Gosh.
no.
Well, good thing our audience is only children, so they'll learn young.
If you're gonna like
No,
anything
it's
Ronald
okay.
Reagan did, if you're gonna like anything Ronald Reagan did, it's the slogan: "Winners don't take drugs." So, well, it depends on the drugs. Weed, so they might take it.
Oh my god.
It's like
We hate,
We're not
It's
gonna
like
go
performance-
into.
we
performance
hate the
enhancing
war on
drugs. Winners don't take them. So I'm just saying the saying: "Winners don't do drugs."
Luke takes them. That's why he's a loser, dude.
Loser. Dare. No, Dare's like super extra too. We should not follow Dare.
Dare didn't work. I'm pretty
did
sure.
not work.
Statistically.
You know, I see more
failed.
stoners wearing Dare sweatshirts than non-stoners wearing Dare
Hey,
sweatshirts.
It's because it's
You know what's
ironic,
ironic?
and it's funny.
You know what's ironic,
What's-
Namer?
What's
What's it?
ironic, Luke?
I see more
What's
people
ironic?
daring me to do things that wear Dare sweatshirts than don't.
That is ironic. It's literally ironic by definition.
I don't know if that's literally ironic. I would say that's just a coincidence.
Oh my god, you're one of those people. I swear.
A coincidence can be ironic.
It can be.
Yes, but just because something's a coincidence does not mean it is ironic.
I guess so.
Yes.
I don't know. But okay, so
The end of
shifting
this
topics
podcast
slightly.
is going so horribly, dude.
I don't know, I
It's just
feel
so
like- I don't know,
uncomfortable.
It's a weird energy
Mhm.
today. I don't like the energy of the sound of the studio today. What is it?
I'm
What's
just
the
tired.
I don't know.
what's that one audio where it's like, I'm uncomfortable
not
with
happy-
the energy we've created in the studio today, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so
Oh, the one about
With-
Chrissy Teigen.
is that the one? I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
I'm surprised Luke even
don't
knows who
know.
Chrissy Teigen is.
No, he doesn't. He just put syllables together and hoped it was somebody's name.
Yeah, he's like famous actor Woodrow McCullen. It's like, he doesn't know. He's just saying names. And so I heard this dream thing from Video Game Donkey, who's a funny
Mhm.
YouTuber. He's so funny. But I want to talk about this because he's doing something that's super weird, like right now. Okay, so you know, I've showed you guys videos of him. He's super funny in the things he does, right? It's like super
Mhm.
antithetical to
Yeah.
how most gaming YouTubers are. Like, you know, like the Fortnite YouTubers that are like, they did what in Fortnite, you know? Or it's like
Mm-hmm.
time travel in Fortnite? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
And it's like a
Yeah,
30
it's
minute
like
clickbait.
clickbaity and all of this stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, like he's a very funny YouTuber. He's like normal, or I guess,
Mhm.
yeah. And he's satirical, I would say too. And
Mhm.
so he made this video a week or two ago called "I'm done making good videos" on YouTube or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically this 4-minute long explanation about how he's just tired that he's putting all this effort into like 4 videos a month, and you know he thinks they're super high quality, and they're just like not getting as nearly as many views as like the Fortnite YouTubers and like, you know, like PewDiePie and all that stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or like Markiplier. So he was like,
Right.
you know what? Starting now, I'm gonna have a weekly schedule of videos. It's like starting Monday, we're gonna have Drama Mondays, where we're talking about all the hot YouTube drama. And if you know
I
Video
wonder
Game
if he's
Donkey,
doing this satirically. I
no,
wonder
it's
if
like
he's doing it
like
satirically.
if you were watching the video, you'd think it's satirical, right? And so he's like, so I'm gonna have like thumbnails being like, she did what, you know, like stuff like that. And and then he's like, I'm gonna have Among Us Tuesdays, baby, where I'm gonna show the live stream from Among Us. And then Wednesdays we're gonna have Minecraft Wednesdays, or something like that. Or no, it's React
doing
Wednesdays. It's React Wednesdays where I react to a video,
Mhm.
something like that. And he's like, all right, and then Thursdays we're gonna have Minecraft Thursdays, and then Friday is like something else. I forgot what it is. And then Saturday he's like, I'm gonna do what nobody does on Saturdays, Minecraft Saturdays. And then Sunday we're doing Among Us Sundays again, baby. He's just like doing it again. And it's like you'd think it's like
Right.
satirical, right? But then the next video he posts, which is the next day, which I think is the Wednesday, it's like gamer reacts to who's a fake gamer. Like you know that series by Jubilee where like you have to figure out who's the fake of what.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's a 40-second long
these
video.
8 people is lying.
Yeah,
They
he's like
have
one
to
of these
figure
4
out
people
who.
is not a gamer. And
Yeah.
so he like gets on his he's like doing a face cam react thing. He has a Jake Paul poster on his like door that keeps falling
Oh,
off
he did a
because it's
face
poorly
reveal?
taped.
I didn't realize we had seen his face before.
No, yeah, you've seen his face before, but he's like, "All right, guys, welcome to React Wednesdays. We're gonna be doing Guess Who's the Gamer." Starts playing the video. He's like, "Hello, I'm a gamer. Hello, I'm a gamer. Hello, I'm a gamer. Hello, I'm a gamer." And it's like this normal looking dude, and he like stops the video. He's like, "That dude's not a gamer," and then just ends the video. It's 40 seconds long.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's
And
being
then-
he has to be satirical.
But the thing is, right? So he's
gotta-
doing every single day, like he's sticking to the schedule, right? And then when he finally gets to
Yes,
Tuesday,
but it's clearly
right? No, when he gets to
satirical.
Tuesday though, it's like I'm done with
Mhm.
Among Us Tuesdays. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm too tired of it. Well, and he hasn't even done it once yet, and so. And then
Yeah.
like he's been doing this for 2 weeks now. Like look at his YouTube videos. Like he's been doing this thing for a solid week. Where it's like I don't understand.
He's just
like,
really
this joke.
committed to this bit.
Yeah, it's like way too much. Like you'll look at the comments, people are like, "I wonder if this is like new Donkey or new update to Donkey, his evolution." He's a part
I
of the
bet he
bit.
actually filmed.
Let's
I bet
see.
he actually filmed it all at once and then just posting it all.
Reacting to fakest gamer ever. Minecraft, but Donkey Kong steals my diamonds. I made a $1 million Among Us 1v1 tournament. That's so stupid. It's only 2 minutes long. Logan Paul.
Yeah, and
gets
he's like,
jar
"I
of
had
peanut
Will
butter
Smith.
thrown
I
at
have
his
Will
head.
Smith on here, and we talked about making Wild Wild West too, or whatever."
And yeah, he just did drama.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
Like,
he
part of
stopped
it
4
is-
days ago. He stopped 4 days ago.
yeah, I know. So it's a little weird, but his Drama Mondays thing, he did
'Cause
one
he
on Dream,
passed.
and it was like actually a serious Drama Mondays thing, where I was like very confused. I was like, "This is actually a genuine video." Like I was so confused.
Maybe it
I
was something
genuinely
he
don't
actually wanted
understand-
to talk about, and he was like, "This just works perfectly."
Maybe we'll talk about this as an art class in like 2088. Like my children's children will be learning about this, and they'll be like,
Mhm.
"Yes, today we learned
A
about
dream.
video game donkeys, satirical abstractionism in video." It's like I remember that. I was merely but 19 years old when the video's updated. He's been continuing it for 80 years straight. It's like
Satire
so
never
weird.
dies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious as to see if this is a joke or not, because it's
Ooh,
so.
I have
it's like,
something to talk about kind of related to this in a second.
all right, go ahead. Or yeah, we can just go to it now if you want.
Okay, well, since, we're talking about YouTubers doing transitions, I was watching a video by Vsauce3, which is one of the 3 people who do these science videos under the brand Vsauce. And he has this video saying, "My exit plan for YouTube, my exit strategy for YouTube." And I find this fascinating. He is saying that he basically has created a plan that in 1.5 years he wants to be off YouTube. And his reasoning is he thinks his how do I put this? I don't know. He thinks his career in YouTube is basically over. Like he doesn't think he can keep going.
Is this
on
the Jake
YouTube.
one or is it Michael? Which
Yes. Jake Roper.
one? It's Jake.
I think
Okay.
that's his name. Jake
Yeah, it's
Roper.
Jake.
Why does that sound wrong? But anyways.
I don't think it's Jake
Um,
Roper, but it's Jake. Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. So he went on this thing about how, he doesn't know what he's going to do next, but he thinks, everyone at some point needs to acknowledge when they are no longer, reaching the success that
Relevant.
they want to, when they, they need to acknowledge when they need to move on. And so I just find that fascinating. I think a lot of people are moving to Twitch. I think that's a fascinating thing. I don't know, I guess what I'm getting at is, for a lot of the YouTubers we like, how sustainable is some of their, content?
Not a lot.
Oh yeah,
know.
for sure.
Probably changes, or it probably adjusts on a whim almost.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Nakey Jakey, He's like he barely makes one video a month. I understand he's busy, stuff like that. But it's like I understand he's working hard on pretty long videos, but at the same time, how is
Does
that
he
going
have
to
a
be
job?
so?
Does he have a job as well?
No, his job is now YouTube. He literally moved to New York because of how YouTube took off for him, and his videos are great. They're wonderful.
Yeah.
but they're so infrequent. You know what I mean? That's like
I'm sorry, Luke is yawning as just opening
so
his mouth
tired.
as wide as.
Dude, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well, we're almost
I just don't
done.
know how that's sustainable. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think like for many other YouTubers too, like mainly the video essay guys. You know, like a Nerd Writer or like I don't know. There's other ones out there. It's like how can you make it like it takes a while. I understand, but like you know the views are clearly not there. Like I just feel like it's such a niche market too for video essays because it's usually people that want to think they're smart or like want to be smarter or like they watch them and they're like, oh my god, I'm so much smarter now because I watched why someone thinks Taxi Driver is the like best film of all time, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's a very niche market. I'm just curious about that because oddly enough, that's the market that I wanted to go into. I'm sure you wanted to go into it too, Daniel, but it's like it's weird. I think everybody is going to start podcasts as well. Everybody and their mom. We made a podcast, so
Did we?
Yeah.
Is that what
Not a
we're
great
I think
one
we're
yet.
gonna get drowned out. I think the issue with the internet in a few years, or I mean even now it's an issue, is that it's become so available for people to produce content that everyone is just gonna be washed out.
Oh,
There's
it's
only
so
gonna
easy
be
now. Isn't it crazy that our
a
phones,
minor few that
our phones are
yeah.
like the equivalent of like a camera from like 2000, like 15 or 14. Like it's a good camera. They can do HD. Like I remember when I was doing YouTube when I was really young, obviously didn't take off, but when I was doing it like every so often, I was using my computer webcam that was probably doing 240p or something like that. And then like I was using just a normal like point and click camera that was doing 360p while all the biggest content creators were doing 1080. I was like, man, I hope one day I'll get a HD camera that does that. Maybe I could be just like the content creators. And guess what? It's like
and then
my phone
it's
does that
literally
now.
in everyone's pocket right
Yeah.
now.
Doesn't a phone also
Some
do 4K
phones can
now,
shoot
too?
at 4K 60 frames a second. Like it's crazy.
It's so crazy. It's so accessible now too, and like, there's really nothing stopping anybody. I mean, I guess people will watch, but like, I feel like it's also a trial thing. You know Steven Soderbergh, right? He's the dude that directed the Ocean's trilogy, like the Ocean Heist movies, like Ocean's 11.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made a film purely from an iPod, or not an iPod, his iPhone. He used an iPhone to film,
Right.
and it's like a genuine movie. Like it's a big budget. I don't know if it's big
Yeah.
budget, but like it's a movie that he only uses for that. It's just so fascinating because he just uses like fisheye lenses to create certain looks that he wants. The lighting, he just does low lighting settings. Austin McConnell, I think, did a really good video about it. And he also just talks about filmmaking on a budget. It's just like you gotta like adhere to the strengths of your stuff, not the weaknesses, right? So like if your iPhone can't really do low lighting well, then don't do low lighting. Have natural light come in, you know, like stuff like that,
Right.
which I think is very fascinating. And if I use my time more productively instead of spending 40 hours playing Cyberpunk, maybe I would do something. But it's also like I feel like what if we did this podcast like 3 years earlier, right? We just bought the mics and stuff like that, right? And like we would have much more of a head start now. Like we might even be getting actual traction, right? Like people would actually
Right.
be
Well, at
listening
least
to
we're
it.
starting it now and not 3 years from now. That's my
Yeah, but
whole
the thing
thought process. Right
that
there.
is true too. That's very true. But you know, because I think podcasts were still like a relatively new space back then. You know, like I just remember podcasts being very gimmicky earlier on. It'd be like people talking about like their favorite movies or like just like a movie episode or like a TV episode or something like that. And now it's like progressed even more, especially because Joe Rogan, you know, he tells everybody on the podcast to make their own podcast and stuff like that. It's become much more legitimized, and like Conan O'Brien's basically made that like an integral part of his show now, because he has guests on there.
Yeah.
It's literally like what his talk show is, but way better, because it's like an hour long, just talk, like casual talk with the person
Right.
that's famous.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's interesting how, as you've pointed out, the number of podcasts have like exploded over the last few years, and I think that happens with any type of content that, like large platforms that start to build traction. You just start to see lots and lots of people start to, I don't know, enter that space. Try to, I don't know how to word it exactly, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you were making the joke, like everyone and their mom has a podcast, and I mean like to a certain degree, like yeah, at this point it's become so easy for anyone.
Like
to
Addison Rae
do
and
it.
her mom literally have a podcast.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
really weird that that stuff is like the thing. My biggest regret is that like I just gave up when I was younger, because I was also really scared about YouTube. You know, it's like for a kid, it's like you're really worried that like people are just gonna go on there just safety, internet safety. I mean, I don't think a lot of kids
and
really
also
understood
all
that.
you hear is like, don't let the haters get to you, and you're gonna see hate, and you're
Well, it wasn't
told
only
about,
that. It
like,
was
how
more
to
so just
defeat
like
cyberbullying.
it was just when I was
Yeah.
younger. I was just like really
Mhm.
scared. Like people would be like, "Oh, I know where you live," stuff like that. You know,
Mm.
or just internet safety
I had more
because you know.
social anxiety than anything. Where
Yeah,
it's
I had
like,
social
just don't want
anxiety
people to
in
hate
general
me.
too. I was just very paranoid. I still am.
Mhm.
So it's like
We
that
know.
stuff.
We know.
Yeah, but it's just like it's a really scary. It was a scary space, especially for like a like a 9-year-old or something, right?
Mhm.
But whereas like if I had actually continued on with it, like maybe I could have been like the next Marquez Brownlee. Yeah, that could have been. It could have been
Mhm.
the
Don't know who that
MK.
is.
He's the #1 dude in tech on YouTube.
Didn't ask.
If you
Yeah.
look up any review about anything,
Yeah,
he's the
you're
number
right,
one.
Luke. Technically, you didn't ask, but you also said, "I don't know who that is."
I don't know who that
Didn't
is.
ask.
But don't tell me
Didn't
because I
ask.
still don't want to know who
Um,
that is.
I'm curious how you guys feel about TikTok stars. Like, I was just thinking.
I think it's great. I think it's again another
Here's my
avenue
question,
to
though.
become famous in.
At the age of 15, do you think it's a good idea to become as popular and famous as they are?
No.
But I think
I
it
specifically
depends.
referring to
That's just a
somebody, but
recipe
you know what I
for
mean.
getting fricked up in the head.
It depends. Like I think
Yeah.
the issue with a lot of child actors, like from a long ago, like why they failed so poorly, was just their parents were probably just really greedy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because I think there's genuinely good actors that were child stars and then they became way better. You know what I mean? Like Jodie
Sure.
Foster is a good one, a good example. Joaquin Phoenix is a good example. I mean, his brother died from a drug overdose.
Sorry, we had to cut there.
Okay, so we're gonna be talking about Daniel's squishy thing because I actually want to talk about this. Yeah,
Hey, can I show you guys something cool?
What, Daniel?
what's up?
I have this little squishy toy I've been playing with. My mom
Phrasing.
basically got a.
Raising.
Okay.
Is your
My mom
squishy?
basically. Yes, actually, most of the time.
Very indeed.
This. So my mom was like, "Oh, I need a bunch of fidget toys for my kiddos at school or whatever," and so she bought a bunch of hair gel, clear hair gel, a bunch of tiny little Ziploc bags, and some duct tape and some little plastic animals, and she literally put the plastic animals in the bag, filled it up with hair gel, sealed it, then wrapped the top in duct tape, and now it's like a little squishy toy, and they feel really cool in there. So yeah.
Alright, so for isn't that weird that like the simplest thing can occupy children so easily? Like
Yeah.
a
Well,
duct
it's
tape,
occupying me.
squishy
Dude,
thing.
I've been playing. So I was editing the podcast earlier today. I've been playing with this for probably roughly 3 hours, 4 hours today, just because it's so easy to just sit here and just while I'm listening, just like squish. You guys can even hear it.
Are you a very fidgety person, Daniel?
Yes.
You know for a fact.
I don't
that
know.
you
I don't
just-
think I'm necessarily fidgety. I just like, for whatever reason.
I would say
I
Luke's a little
think
bit more
I
fidgety
have-
than Daniel though, because I think
Probably.
Luke
Yeah, I just
Luke
have a lot of
uses that more.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I get stressed easily, even if it's about like simple things where I'll just like wake up and be like, oh my God, I have like 3 podcasts to edit today. And then I'll just feel like a wave of stress. It's like, and I'm really good at overcoming that. But I think one of the ways that helps me not have to like go through the mental, like, I don't even know what to call it. I have to put a lot of mental effort into keeping myself calm. So just having
Right.
something to fidget with is a lot easier. Like a stress ball. Like sometimes just squeezing a stress ball like helps me way more than like, spending willpower trying to, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, for me, my work ethic has increased a lot more in college, like surprisingly so. Like in high school, I was like so inefficient. I like barely did anything. Like I don't know about you guys. Whenever I get home from school, I also had early release, so I'd be home like an hour or two prior than earlier. I would spend that entire early release stretch when everyone else is in fourth period, sitting on the couch on my phone. I'm like, dang, it's already 4:15. That means like this extra time that I could have been using that everybody else was in learning or whatever, like, I just wasted it. And then you'd think I'd start doing homework so I'd have the rest of my night to do whatever. Nope. I'd still be on my phone for like another hour and just doing whatever, just chilling, maybe playing video games, something. I don't know. And then
Yeah.
and then I would do everything at like 10 p.m. Maybe at best. Sometimes it'd be like midnight that I would start doing actual homework.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just always did that constantly. Now it's become a lot
College,
better.
college actually hasn't changed my work ethic at all.
I was gonna ask about that. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask about your guys' progression over time, because in middle school, and I mean elementary school didn't really matter, but in middle school I always had the work ethic of trying to get it done as soon as possible. So I'd get home, probably have a snack, and then I'd start homework around 6. I would take a long break, like, get a snack, get some water, maybe watch a YouTube video, and then I would start homework. It was pretty reasonable, especially because I did go to sleep earlier then. And
Yeah,
then I
maybe.
got to high school, and I started just pushing things off and off later and later and later and later. And then I started realizing I should just try and get it all done during the day. So then I became really hyper productive in class, where I wouldn't be listening to the teacher. I'd just be getting done all of the homework as fast as possible. And then
Yeah,
I
that's a little
just
inefficient.
stopped being productive in general. So now in college, I'm
elementary
just
school-
completely unproductive.
In elementary school, I was actually somewhat productive because how they did it in elementary school, at least for like the final 4 grades for us or whatever, was that they gave you all your week's homework like as a packet. You were just supposed to do whatever was assigned that day on that day.
Yeah,
But as long as you just turned it in all done by the end of the week, right? It didn't matter. Like they didn't like see, did you actually do the Monday's work on Monday? Did you actually do the Tuesday's work on Tuesday? As long as you just did it and your parents signed off, you turned it in, you were good. So what I did was like halfway through my second grade, I had a bright idea. I was like, yo, I don't need to do one a day. I could just do it all on Monday and have no more homework for the rest of the week, baby.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was a genius for this. I was like, wow. And then some random kid came up to me. He's like, if you just do them out of order, it's faster. And I was like, no, dude, that literally just not how that works.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking back on it now. I'm like,
But
no,
you
that's
know-
not how it works.
I think the other thing you didn't realize is you did the opposite of what most people's thought process is. Your thought process was, oh my god, if I get it done on Monday, I don't have to do any work the rest of the week. Most people's thought process is, oh my god, this isn't that hard. I can just have fun all week and then I'll get it done on Friday morning. Like, it's just the opposite of that, where it's like, it's not that much
Well, yeah,
work.
see,
can
I
just do it all at
switched
once
it up.
at the end
And
of
that's
the week.
what I became. Is that, I
Yeah.
can just do this the day before instead of having to wait. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was interesting in elementary school because I don't know why I was that resourceful back then. It's a shame. I feel like that was my peak academic self in elementary school. I thought I was so smart. I thought I was like on my
Yeah.
way to become valedictorian. Not even close. Going to high school. So
Why don't they have
It's-
valedictorians for elementary school? Such a shame.
But elementary school's so stupid too. I don't even understand. Like looking back on the conversations I've had with people, like about or just like talking in elementary school, like that kid that'd be like, if you do them out of order, it's faster. It's like the kids would genuinely think that because kids just believe whatever, especially from
How would
other
that
kids.
even work? What is the rationale behind that even?
I don't know. I guess it just doesn't feel like you're actually doing what you're supposed to. So maybe you're getting like an adrenaline rush. And it's faster for you, or I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? But like I was
He
just
timed himself once. He timed himself doing it in order, and then he did another assignment, which was much shorter because there was a break at the end of the week, so they had Friday off. And he only had 4 pages, and he timed himself doing it out of order. And he's like, scientifically proven, I can do it faster out of order.
no, yeah. And then his source was, bro, trust me.
Trust me.
Yeah, I think
His source was Facebook.
yeah, and it's just so like weird. Not to get political or anything. It's just like because 2 elections happened while I was in elementary school, 2008 and 2012, and like just the fact that we were talking about it in general is just so stupid because we didn't know anything we were talking about. We were just regurgitating basically our parents' beliefs.
I don't
Not even
remember
that.
any ever talking about it. I
Yeah.
remember like my teacher mentioning the 2012 election, but that's it.
I specifically remember in 2012, the day after the election, kids were being like, "Oh my God, the world's gonna end! I can't believe it! The world's gonna end! Obama's president
I
again! I,
think
can't
what's-
believe it!" It's like,
Yeah.
bro,
I think what's
really?
really strange. Do you guys
Like,
remember voting?
No, we never did
Not
the vote
actually
thing.
voting. We
No,
didn't do
never,
voter
yeah,
fraud.
we never had a voting thing. Yeah,
Are
Yeah,
you
we never
sure?
had like a voting
we
unit.
definitely never.
We
did.
had one. I swear we had one for Obama versus Mitt Romney.
Maybe you did.
Maybe,
We didn't.
Maybe your class. Yeah.
Okay.
But that would have been 5th grade, so we would have all had the same.
Yeah, we
teacher.
would
I
have
don't
all had the
think-
same teacher.
We never had
so
that.
I don't know.
No, we
You
definitely
guys don't
never
remember
had
going
that.
to the library and doing that?
No,
No.
we definitely.
What
never
I
did.
do remember is though, I don't know how. I wonder if they still do this. Probably not. There was a unit, for those of you that don't know, it was about segregation. And so what they did was
Oh my god.
it was a secret unit that only 5th graders did. So whenever it happened in 5th graders, no one really knew what it was. Like the underclassmen never knew. So once we were in 5th grade, basically at the beginning of the day, everyone was like, okay, or the teachers were like, all right, we're gonna give you all a color, and yeah. And so they just give the colors first because they don't want to they don't want kids being like, oh, this color's better than that. They just want to be like as as objective or unbiased as possible. So it was purple and orange, right? So they were purposely giving like purple and orange to people, right? And so you had to put that color on your like chest for the entire day, okay? And so I think they were deliberately choosing, like they'd be like, okay, so maybe one person from a friend group will go to orange, and then
Yes.
we'll give the other people purple, right? Like stuff like that, basically. And then yeah, and then after everybody gets their thing, and they're like, they have it taped to them. They're like, okay, so for the entire day, you can only hang out with people with the same color as you. And so it's like you cannot talk to anybody of the different
You know
color.
what?
Like you
This
literally
had
cannot
good
talk to them.
intentions behind it. I just want to say it had good
Yeah.
intentions.
It's just a
behind
very.
it, but yes,
it's-
continue.
We'll commentate over this in a sec because
Mhm.
I'm curious to hear your two's thoughts about this in retrospect. And then you can't talk to them. You can't even look in their direction. You can't sit with them at lunch. You can't hang out with them at recess. You can't do anything. with
Could
them.
we marry them?
Definitely not that. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just making.
That was actually a law. They went to Congress and was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this thing for our elementary school. Can you just quickly pass this law for us that purple
Yeah.
and orange cannot marry?"
Yeah, and so I feel like some teacher, I'm sure like in our time in elementary school there had to have been at least one teacher that was just racist. There had to have been at least one that we just came and count.
Probably.
But like we just didn't know, because we're too young to really understand what racism is.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Some people would
But
claim
maybe
that,
they were like
some of
actually
our high school
genuinely like
teachers were racist. You know what I mean?
maybe,
Some
but
people
I just
claim
think
that
it'd
some of
be
our high school teachers were.
it'd be less obvious to know if any of our elementary school teachers were racist. So maybe it could have been more likely. But the odds are about the same.
I don't know to be less obvious because we don't remember. Maybe one of them was actually like a blithering racist. Like said the
Yeah.
N-word in class every day. None of us remember
We
it.
purged it
Yeah.
out of our memories.
It was so bad. They had like 1860s like political cartoons on the walls.
Confederate
So
flags
it's
hanging in their
just-
rooms. And we were just like, wow, the
Oh my
colors
God.
look so nice on that American flag. I want it. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap up this segregation story because we kind of got off topic. I want to hear your topic or your commentary about it because you guys also were a part of it. And then we'll end it because, yeah. Anyway. So basically you couldn't hang out. So purple people couldn't hang out with orange people. Orange people couldn't hang out with purple people. You basically had to stick amongst yourselves, as they say in KKK culture. And so,
Had to be among your own kind.
among your own kind, purity, as they say. And so, like for us, like I think they also deliberately did it where like some friend groups, like they would make some of the kids, like one of the kids, be a different color,
Yeah.
so that they could truly understand. Like,
Yeah, we
oh,
talked about that. Yeah.
yeah, stuff like that.
Wait, but
So-
if the goal was to make them truly understand it, then why wouldn't it make more sense to have all the friends in the same friend group be the same color? Because technically they wouldn't have been able to make friends outside of their
See,
their
but elementary
group
school or students would just not understand.
Like,
Like, oh, this is
It was
great. Racism's great.
It's a very basic level analogy. You're going way
Yeah.
too deep into.
Also, like, what does the message look like? Racism's great. All my friends are in the same color. Who cares? Like, I don't understand.
Exactly.
What's the issue?
Yeah, Luke.
That's true.
You gotta understand. It was
That's
bad,
a good
dude.
point. That's a good
New
point.
episode podcast
Dude,
title.
imagine
Racism is
We
great.
teach kids that racism is okay.
There's like, this is awesome, bro. This is amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
my god.
so basically,
Yeah.
you had to just keep amongst yourselves. Even in the classroom, you couldn't even talk to kids. Like they purposely move kids from different colors. Like I'm pretty sure they might have made the orange colors sit in the back of the
Weren't
class.
there some other things
I don't
too? Like, you could go to the bathroom whenever you wanted as somebody who was orange, but like you had to raise your hand. And you
Oh,
could
yeah,
often
they had
only go at certain
purposely
times
colored
if you were
bathrooms.
purple.
No, they had purposely colored
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
Oh
water
yeah, different
fountains,
colored
too.
bathrooms. So you had to walk to the
That's
ones
not
by the
problematic.
PE hall if you wanted to do the if you were like purple or something. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you were
Wait,
orange,
Luke, what did you say was problematic? That was problematic.
water fountains, water
The
fountains.
colored
They had
bathrooms and
colored
water fountains?
Did they do
too.
that? Did they do
Yeah.
that?
I think they. I
Yeah,
think there was
they
water
did that.
fountains
Yeah,
as
sure
well.
they did
Yeah.
that.
You know, in
Also,
sorry,
if you were
in
orange
hindsight,
and
I
you were
just wanna
driving, you were driving on the bus home. You were allowed to pee out the window.
No, that's not. That's
what?
improv,
No, that's not.
ladies and gentlemen. That's
I think
not-
Luke
that's not
just
real.
did that because he wanted to. I don't think that was part of the experiment.
Yeah.
So, I just want to say this. In hindsight, it should have been so obvious that it was an analogy for racism and segregation. And I think I
Yeah.
knew
Nobody
it at
understood
the
till
time.
the end of the day.
Yeah, until they told
Yeah.
us.
Well, I mean, I had a
Hey,
feeling.
is it just
I was
me?
like, this
Is it just
clearly-
me, or do y'all remember the water fountains at our elementary school being really cold?
They're
Like,
really
having
cold, but the
really
water
cold
tasted
water.
terrible. You basically had to just like close
Yeah,
your
it
nose
did.
and just
Yeah.
like, that was it.
It was cold, but it tasted like sweet.
It only
It was,
tasted
like,
like,
not good.
ozone.
It was like rust as water. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
It just did not taste good. Anyway, so day goes by. Personally, I was pretty chill with it. I was chill with racism because it didn't affect me in that because I was the majority color, which was purple. And like, Luke was purple, Daniel was purple, another friend of ours was like most of our friends were purple except for
Yeah,
one
they
kid.
didn't do a good job of making us realize that racism was bad.
And the thing about that one kid is he was arguably the most annoying kid out of our group. So it was kind
Yeah,
of
they-
okay
Talking about-
that he
So we were
wasn't
like,
our
this is-
color.
I don't know who you're talking
Wait.
about.
I don't know who you're talking
We'll talk about it
either.
after the podcast because
Okay.
at the time he was annoying. He's pretty
I
chill
feel
now.
like if this person ever listens, they're gonna be like, God, those people are jerks.
Well, he was like he
I
used
am
to be
listening.
like that. He's a lot better now. Super chill.
Hope we didn't.
I haven't really
hope he
talked
didn't
to him.
rage quit. I
And
hope he
his
didn't
name
rage quit
is
after you
Luke.
said that.
His name
And
was
his
Luke,
name is Luke.
the origin of a
Luke,
villain.
but with his name is Luke, but all the letters might be different, or there might be extra
Or they might not
less
be
letters,
4 letters,
possibly.
or they.
So his name
be
could be
might not-
Luke,
yeah.
or it could be Eckle, because that's an anagram for Luke. So
Hey,
who knows?
y'all want to hear a palindrome? Y'all want to hear a palindrome?
Luke'll. No,
A palindrome that you wouldn't have expected?
Sure,
Daniel.
Go ahead.
What?
Daniel.
Daniel's a palindrome,
it's
really.
not.
So
I almost
Yeah,
believed
I
you
I don't
for
think
a
you know what a
second.
palindrome is.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's a
backwards it's
palindrome?
Daniel.
You know what's a palindrome?
Hmm?
Army.
Nope.
You had to think about
Also
it.
not
You
true.
had to think about it. You were thinking about it, Daniel. Don't even cap.
I was not. It took me 2 seconds to realize if it doesn't end in the letter that it starts with, it's not that hard to realize it's
Hey,
not
y'all
a
want to hear a
palindrome.
palindrome? You want to hear a
Okay.
palindrome?
No.
Heavily altered.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
That was
going-
that was the origin. Okay. Anyway, I didn't have that much of an issue with it. Honestly, if it was like Karma Truly, it would have made like I would have been the one to be the one with the different color. But I feel like that would be racial profiling, and I could have sued. So
Yeah.
they chose wisely for that because the kid was white.
Mhm.
That was in a different group, so it wasn't as
Mhm.
bad because white privilege. Anyway,
I also wonder if they ever feel guilty splitting us up. You know what I mean?
no,
Like
those
if
only
like,
for
those
a
teachers
day.
love
It's
power,
only for
bro.
a
They
day.
love power.
Yeah.
They love power.
They are
you're
Republicans
right,
after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Midwestern conservatives.
We're just assuming
Conservative
the
women.
Anyways, okay.
I mean,
Let's
we
finish
do-
it
we
out.
did
What
live in
happened at
Iowa
the
at
end
the
of the day?
time.
We get
Okay, so basically, we didn't really care because the one friend who's kind of very annoying towards us, we didn't talk to him, so it was kind of better that day
It's so
because we didn't have to
mean.
talk to him. But it was kind of antagonistic. Like
Fuck me.
he would literally be like sitting like 6, or he'd be standing 6 feet away, and we're like, And it's kind of mean thinking about it now. Super mean.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
man.
he was
So
annoying
what
every
you're-
now
This
and
is
then.
actually this is where we built our. This is where we established our racist tendencies, is what you're saying.
Well, he was white. He was white. Okay, so
Oh,
you can't be
I mean,
racist if you're white.
right.
Or if he was white.
Yeah, you
So-
can. Yeah, you can't be racist if you're white.
Well, you were going against your own kinds because you guys are white too. So, yikes.
Sure.
That's on
Hey,
you.
listen.
So you guys are traitors.
Anytime
You're
I see
treasoners.
anytime I see a white guy in the street, I push him into traffic.
And then you
No,
say
you
white
don't.
privilege, dog. Yeah.
What is that even? White privilege, dog, and you push him into the street.
'Cause the cars
and
will stop
there's no
when it's
cars
him.
coming, so
Yeah. The cars just disappear. It's like they clip over him. You know, they just go through him.
they clip through him like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, the glitches.
We're
Okay,
tying
anyway.
it all together. We're tying it all
Yeah,
together.
let me finish.
Yes,
This
we
is
gotta
going a little
finish,
overtime. This is a little overtime.
It's okay.
You'll
I
cut
have to cut
out
out
enough
some
time to be
Yes,
an hour 30.
exactly.
Anyway, so end of the day, they basically explain this was segregation, and half the kids were like,
Mm-hmm.
"What? Oh my god! It
my
makes so
God.
much sense.
My mind
What?
is blown.
Oh my
Whoa.
god! I'm probably gonna sell weed in like 8 years' time. It doesn't matter. Whatever." Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that basically happens, and then like they're like, okay, and now you can talk to your friends normally. And then everyone's getting super loud. They're like, yay! Because it's like fifth graders, and they can finally talk to their friend after a day, which was like 10 years. And then the
Yeah.
teacher's like, hey, quiet. They kids out there cannot hear you screaming in the fourth grade class because our fourth grade hallway was right next to the fifth grade one. It's like, because they are going to have to do this experience next year too. We want it to be a surprise for them. So do not yell. Just talk silently. I don't know. It was something like that.
Yeah, I know what you
Talk
mean.
silently.
Yeah.
And so, that's basically how it was at the end of the day. And we got to keep our purple construction paper that was taped
Do you
to
still
us.
have yours?
So, no.
I think
I
ate
moved
it.
like 4 times since then. Four to 5
Luke
times.
ate his. It was,
Yeah.
I had
So
some
what did you
guy
guys
in
think about that?
preschool- Sorry, I had
You
some
know,
guy
at
in
the
preschool
time-
that ate paper. Yeah.
At the time, I didn't really think anything of it, but now looking back on it, I'm like, oh my god, those teachers were definitely Republicans.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I-
apparently Texas just recently made it so that to teach slavery was a central cause of the Civil War.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
that
that.
was like a couple years ago. Yeah.
States' right to what?
Oh, I thought it was literally what?
It was like 2
No,
years
states'
ago or
right
something.
to what?
They did that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? But the textbook does it in a diplomatic way. They're like, to some it was the states' rights, and to some it felt like slavery, but it was truly and then like Abraham Lincoln wanted to end slavery, but also preserve the Union, and he wanted to preserve the Union in a compromising way. It's like, okay, can you just stop being both sides-ifying slavery, please? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Here's what I want to say about the elementary school segregation day. I think there's this clip of this teacher. It's an older clip of this
Which
teacher
one?
that did it on her classroom, and it's like, it's become the standard for like, this is the thing we need to be teaching students, that like this is how it feels. And you've probably seen that, like, clips of it before. Well, she'll like yell at students for having blue eyes. She'll be like, hey, you have, I think it's blue eyes. It doesn't matter, blue or brown eyes. It switches off.
This
She's
is
like,
the
"Hey,
Holocaust.
Do you have blue eyes? You can't sit. You can't sit over there. Go sit with the other people." And so she gets onto them and stuff like that, right? And so they took that idea and they
Blue
ran
eyes,
with it, but
blonde
they failed
hair,
to make it like
out.
impactful. I don't know. It was just like whatever.
They actually encouraged it. They
The
said
thing
that.
is, the thing is that doesn't really teach anything because kids are the dumbest kids. They don't understand the nuances. So yeah, you'll teach the oppressed side. So the kids that were like in the oppressive side of the whole situation, like sure they might learn, but the kids that weren't on the oppressive side, they literally will not care. They will not learn a
The
thing.
original, the teacher who originally did this, and I say originally, somebody's probably done it before her, but whatever. She literally switches halfway through the day. That's the entire part of the lesson where she switches, and suddenly for the people who were oppressed and then became the oppressors, they were like kind of not willing to fill that role because they knew how it felt. And then on the other hand, you had the people who were oppressors the first half of the day, and then when they became the oppressed, they were like really upset, and they're like, this feels kind of unfair, and now they felt guilty for what they had done earlier. So it's kind of like that back and forth of like,
I feel like I'd be the
that's
opposite.
how you teach the
If
lesson.
I was the oppressed at the first part of the day, I'd lay it all
You
on
would
them.
be
in the
so
second half
on
the
top
day.
of everyone.
I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
No,
hey,
Naimur, Naimur would have led a revolution.
from the inside. I'd be like, all right,
Viva
guys,
la
I'm actually
purple.
with y'all. I'm actually with y'all. Whatever. I also remember final story
Mm-hmm.
that I tried to do the cheese touch in elementary school. We tried to put a piece of cheese in the recess playground, and did not work out. I had to sit out the
Did you
rest
get
of
in
recess
trouble?
that day. Yeah, but it was like not that deep. It was just like sit out for the rest of recess, which is like 30 minutes.
For putting a piece of cheese on the cement. How dare
Yeah.
you?
It was a pretty hot day though. I felt like it was cooking low key. It was like, yeah.
See, the way they punished us in elementary school was so weird.
Did take
It was
off
like
points after
psychological
recess.
torture. It was like psychological
But it sounds
torture.
so, like,
you had to watch
when
all
they
your
say
friends.
it-
It's like time cuckolding or like fun cuckolding.
Yeah.
You just have to watch them. Like for us, you had to sit down and watch people play. But they like changed
Yeah.
it.
For
when
people
we
who don't
left.
know, our detention in elementary school was literally sitting at the edge of the
We
playground.
had to sit against the
just
wall
watching
on the
kids
playground,
play.
watching
against
people
the wall.
play.
And there
And
was
they
no
changed it
shade
because
there
they were
either.
like- Yeah,
that
because
feels,
they changed it
that
because
feels
like,
like torture. There's no shade there, so on a hot day, you're just sitting
Yeah,
there
that's really
sweating.
bad.
well, depending on what time
It's
recess was for you. So if you were later in
Yeah,
the day,
that's true.
most likely it would have probably been better. Like if you're an
That'd be
older
true.
class. Yeah, but like that literally didn't do anything because like the fat kids would probably, like, including myself, be like, I'm sitting. I don't have to. Like, I didn't even do anything at recess to begin with. Us three would just talk. Like, we would just walk
Yeah.
and talk. And so they changed it to where, like, after we left, they're like,
you have to
these
walk.
kids.
You have to
Yeah,
walk
you have to
around.
walk for the amount of time that you have
Yeah.
off, which is like, I mean, it makes sense. It's a better.
You just have to do
option.
laps around the
Hey,
playground.
that's at least you're getting exercise, and you're not sitting there being tortured. Like,
fun cuckold.
just
But it's
feels,
so weird. It was like they do stuff like 10 minutes off your recess for like not
Mhm.
doing homework, and then it'd be like 15 minutes off of recess for looking at me the wrong way. It's like there's no unified like way. They
remember-
did
feels
it.
justified.
I remember one time I had time off recess for something, and then a girl had a seizure on the playground. I
Yeah.
was like, "This is
Divine
why you don't give
intervention.
me time off recess."
This is why you
Yeah.
don't. This is why you don't get in trouble, so that you don't
what's
miss
crazy?
the seizure on the playground.
Because when Luke, the reason why if Luke had not gotten that recess time taken off, COVID wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
We won't go
The
through
girl
the
is ground
entire
zero.
progression of events, but trust us. If he had not gotten
Just
recess
sources,
detention,
bro.
Source,
just trust me.
sources, trust me. Oh my god.
All right, I think that's a good wrapping point. This has been an
Yeah.
interesting podcast. Sorry, Daniel, another
Mhm.
editing handful from both
Yep,
of us.
it's okay.
Probably
we'll
me this
We'll
time,
figure it
but-
out. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
We'll figure
this
it
one's
out.
not
We're
gonna be
slowly getting
edited
better.
anytime soon.
Listen, Cyberpunk was made in 8 years. We got plenty of time to get better.
We got plenty of time to edit this. I'll make this in 8 years.
But are we
I'll
aiming
edit
for
it.
Are we aiming
This
for the
po-
quality of Cyberpunk or just the
No.
the
This
length?
podcast
The
will be
quality,
coming
dude.
when it's ready.
Our aim is to produce the least possible. It's too late in the night
It's
to
the
think
least,
about
but
things.
it's the least. It's the worst quality, but also the best quality. You know,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah,
not
you-
even mediocre. It's just good, but also terrible.
So I think what Luke and I are doing here is dragging out the podcast
You're
beyond.
vamping.
Anyways,
Why
see you
couldn't you do this
tomorrow.
earlier? Let's wrap this up. All right. See you
tomorrow,
guys.
baby.
Love
Good
you.
night.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.